Livestream Studios, WRBQ HD1 Tampa, a Beasley Media Group station.
Initiate procedure.
Okay, the MJ Radio Network. We are go.
Now, stand by for the MJ Morning Show. Rock and roll.
How about that?
They took your advice.
They did take my
Yes.
advice.
You know, they sat in the locker room before the game, like, that guy MJ gave us some advice this morning, and I think we should take it.
Yes, the Lightning took my advice, and that was you don't want to go back to New York for game number 5 if the Lightning was down, 3-1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't want to head to New York on the brink of elimination if the Rangers would win game 5 and then obviously snag their 4 wins out of the series. So the Lightning, Fester's correct. The Lightning heeded my advice and they won last night, tying up the series 2-2.
You know, Coach Cooper, in his pregame rally talk, said, guys, in the morning, there's a guy on 104.7. His name is MJ.
Yep.
And he said something that I think we should all take to heart. We got to win tonight because we can't go back to New York down 3-1.
Yeah, because
Why are you yelling at us, Coach?
Cooper sounds just like that.
And then the Lightning, as they were walking out of the tunnel to begin the game, they were like,
you know what? I can turn Fester's mic off, and he can just be picked up by the other mics in the room.
Is it the mic quality? I mean, what's going on?
No, don't hit the mic. No,
you're just really loud. And
it's very loud.
boisterous.
Yeah, so it just sounds like you're
You're as they call a blowhard at the moment.
Fester the blowhard.
If anybody would know, it's you.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, they go back to New York tomorrow night, so it's a Thursday night game. So go Lightning. I mean, we now know who the opponent's going to be. Whoever wins the series, whether it's the Lightning or the Rangers, they're going to face the Avalanche. And did I say the Avalanche?
You said Avid? Avid Lanch.
The Avalanche.
Like a very good Lanch.
Hey, guys, I want to give you a heads up. Folks, I have to turn the last segment of the show over to Froggy, Fester, and Roxanne.
Oh, wait. I've got to leave early, too.
No, you don't.
I got a thing.
You don't have a thing.
I think it's Fester and Roxanne.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to turn it over to you guys.
Yeah, okay.
It's just Fester.
Everyone's got something they got to do, right? Now, I got to catch an airplane, so I'm turning things over to you guys. When we go to break at about 9:20, I got a motor. So I'm just giving you plenty of heads up, just giving you plenty of warning that you guys need to plan an award-winning, stellar segment, the last chunk of the show today. I'm going to leave in your hands, and I'm just giving you enough. I'm
sure you won't make us call you for this entire segment.
Trying to give you guys enough lead time so you guys have something planned for the final segment of the show today.
Are you going to be listening in the car?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, not quite sure.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, but seriously. So the final chunk of the show today, you guys get to do, I guess, what you want. So make sure you have some great content planned, would you please?
Oh,
okay. You're giving us 3.5 hours notice. We will get on that.
You can leave
time.
You can leave right now and we'll be fine, okay?
I don't know about that.
You'll be fine.
You want to try that out? You want to see?
Hey, cue up the music.
I can leave right now, and you guys will be fine.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be walking out right behind you.
All right. Frog, you don't have to leave early, do you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a thing. I got an appointment.
What kind of thing do you have?
It's just an appointment.
No, you don't.
It's a medical issue.
You don't have. You
Get a
don't
colorblind test.
I've got a colorblind checkup. Is that it?
Annual colorblind check.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you realize you were colorblind?
Oh, when I was a youngin', very young. It runs in the family.
Do you really have a colorblind appointment today? Because I actually really have an eye doctor appointment today.
Oh my God! Wait, you have to shoot a video today with the midget.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, don't. It's Shorty Shane.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Shorty Shane's coming in. He'll be here at 10 o'clock. So you guys are gonna go shoot right after the show.
Maybe we'll have him come in a little early and host
I don't
less.
think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean it's not gonna happen?
He and I were texting. He's gone.
Oh, he'll be here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
yeah.
he'll be here.
You'll be able to come find us.
All right, just getting rolling, folks. It's a busy Wednesday here on the MJ Morning Show. I got the early chunk of Morons in the News on the way, and it's just going to be a pretty cranked up show. But I would recommend you guys listen after I leave at 9:20 this morning to find out what kind of gig Fester and Froggy and Roxanne do here on the program. So just a little heads up on that. I got another challenge for you guys. What are you laughing at?
I was just thinking
What?
that will probably promote your Instagram.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, for 15 minutes? Is that it? Really?
Usually I always spend the last segment anyway.
Nothing will change.
You got the MJ Morning Show. Hey, folks, IDC, International Diamond Center, is back. MJ Morning Show, Q105, 619. That is nasty. Guys, you guys weren't in the studio, Froggy Fester, but when we went to the last break, you guys left. Roxanne was still in the studio, and Roxanne is going... Now, hang on,
Yeah.
hang on. That was the audio daily double clue of what I was doing. Yeah. If you're watching MJ TV, and I encourage folks, hey, check out MJ TV. The entire broadcast every morning, the whole show when we're on, is on TV. And we got multiple cameras here in the studio so you can watch us do the studio show on your computer screen. So all you have to do is go to mjmorningshow.com and you click on MJ TV. It's at the top of the page at mjmorningshow.com. And there's a link to watch us live during 6 to 10 a.m. during our show. And then, of course, you can scroll down. And then previous shows, all the archives are there. So you can watch yesterday's show. You can watch the day before, whatever. It's all archived. And we stream on YouTube live every morning. So if you were just watching, you heard me go, and you could see that I have my tongue sticking out. My fingers are like near and I'm like trying to pull things off my tongue out of my mouth. Yeah. So that's what that noise was. And that's what I just witnessed Roxanne do during the last break. I'm like,
yeah, we've had 2 days in a row of Roxanne mouth noises entertaining us.
Oh, my.
Because yesterday was the sucking water out of the phone.
Oh,
that's
Remember
right.
that?
Yeah.
And I started thinking more about that. When I
I
sucked water out of my phone, I actually think that inoculated me and strengthened my immune system.
Probably.
Because look at me. I mean, I sat next to Fester and didn't catch the vid.
Yeah, didn't catch the
Knock on
vid.
wood.
All right, so that is gross. So what is what is that? Guys, when you walked out of the room, Roxanne's doing this and she's pulling stuff out of her mouth. She's pulling stuff off her tongue.
I thought it was kale. It's not.
Of course.
Roxanne was drinking her, do you call this a protein?
No, it doesn't have any protein.
Well,
Let's see the cup.
What,
It's just.
what is the drink?
it's
What
just
is it?
So I'm
greens?
It's what?
It's greens, and it's like powders. Like it's sometimes it's beet powder, but a lot of times it's just spirulina powder.
What?
Spirulina, usually a banana, whatever fruit.
Hold on, you
we
can
have.
say spirulina, but you can't say apocalypse?
Yeah, very true.
All right, say spirulina.
Spirulina.
Say apocalypse.
No, I can't say it.
Say it.
I can't
No,
not say it without the extra P. Apocalypse.
What?
Apocalypse. I can't.
Folks,
I have a mental block.
It's
against
the
it.
Roxanne Apocalypse Challenge. She cannot say the word apocalypse. Say it. Try it again.
Apocalypse. No, for real. Let me try. Okay, Fester's coached me through each syllable.
pock
Lips.
lips.
But it just doesn't feel right in conversation.
All right, so
to me. I
say it
have to
again. Say it now.
The apocalypse is coming.
holy cow! I heard 3 P's.
I think there was 3 there. All right, so here's the deal. You're drinking this drink. Now, who makes this drink for you?
Doug does.
When does Doug make the drink?
When his alarm goes off.
Is this the same drink that you made a few months ago? You pulled like a cardboard
Yes.
piece.
Hold on a
that's
minute.
what I'm saying.
Well, hang on, Fester. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, hang on, Fester.
When did Doug make the drink? About what time?
This morning, I would say 5:15.
About 5:15, Doug makes this drink for you
Yes.
with powders and all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're drinking the drink, and I then see you going, and you're like sticking your tongue out with the sour face, and you're pulling stuff out of your mouth. You've determined that what was in your drink this morning?
I've determined that is a piece of tape. Scotch tape.
All right, Roxanne was pulling pieces of Scotch tape out of her mouth
All right, I'm holding the cup.
after drinking this drink that Doug made you.
Why can't Doug not get weird stuff in the drinks he makes?
This is Dig Doug. Dig Doug is Roxanne's fiance of like a decade. I don't, are you guys still planning on getting married in November?
We had a long conversation about that yesterday.
Yeah. Then he gives you the tape shake.
All right, hold on. I'll get into that here in a second. Why the hell is there Scotch tape in your drink that you're drinking and then try to spit out of your face?
Okay, I think I know the reason to that because my 5-year-old got really excited about, she calls it sketch tape. And so last night while I was feeding
it's not Scotch tape,
No.
it's sketch tape?
Yeah, she just discovered sketch tape.
Oh.
And I was feeding the baby and she's like running around the kitchen taping everything. Look, Mama, sketch tape fixes everything. And she's like taping
No, that's
drawers.
duct tape. Duct tape fixes everything.
And but here's the mystery. How did the sketch tape, even if she taped the counter, how does the sketch tape end up in my drink?
Did Doug make your drink like in a magic bullet or something?
Yes,
or
he does.
Is that what you use? A magic bullet? Or is it something else?
No, it's a magic bullet.
Oh, you really have one?
Yeah.
Well, maybe she threw a roll of sketch tape in the magic bullet.
She could have done that. I'm just wondering, like,
Mommy, I'm making you
Yeah.
drink extra sticky tomorrow. Putting some sketch tape in there. That is gross.
Like
Fester,
roughage.
hey, hold it up to the camera. Hold up. Look at this. Get this right up on the camera. What? Look at this.
That's disgusting.
It is.
And the drink looks disgusting.
It does. Yeah. Andrew, do you have a good shot of this thing? You have it? Yes? Okay. So
You're supposed to have to chew your morning shake?
That's one of the pieces of tape that was in Roxanne's little... what is it called? It's just
it's just my shake. It's just my shake.
A morning breakfast shake.
Don't confuse us with like a delicious milkshake because I'm holding the cup that this was served in. MJ, if I told you I was sifting through raw sewage with this cup,
this is nasty.
You would believe me.
Show the inside. Look at this. Look at the look at the residue. Mm-hmm. Look at the moldy. Yep. It's like a.
It does look like mold.
It's like a toilet bowl that hasn't been flushed in like a week.
Yeah, that's
look at that. Yeah. I'm telling you, after somebody had some explosive problem.
Disgusting.
Oh my God.
Here, give this to Russ.
You are drinking this?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Tape. Wow.
What'll be in your drink next? Stapler?
I like Staples.
Staples.
I mean.
Yep, Staples. Yep, we got that.
Yep, they're in there.
Yep.
Remote control.
Yeah, that totally. We always lose the remote control.
That is nasty. You know what? Buttons from the remote control. You'll be spitting out a 4.
Yum.
And an arrow going to the left. Yeah, and the on button, the little power button, you'll spit that out. Oh my God, that is Are you going to investigate why there's scotch tape in your shake?
Well, I know that my daughter must have something to do with it, but I'm just trying to figure out what kind of sanitary practices are used in the Douglas kitchen in the morning.
Not much.
That would end up in there. Like, how does that? Even if it was on the counter, what are you wiping the counter into my cup?
That is gross. And are you saying? I gotta take a quick break here. We've got Morons in the news next, but are you also saying? From the beginning of our little chat here that you guys had a discussion about your marriage, which you had told us that you're probably going to get married in November. Did you have a discussion about this?
Yeah, usually I'm a very decisive person.
Can you hold on to that thought?
Yes.
Is there an update here of sorts?
I just don't know what I want to do.
All right, don't give it away.
No, I'm not giving it away. I'm not giving it away.
All right, hold on. We'll discuss coming up. Is Roxanne ever going to get married to this Dig Dug guy after 10 years of engagement?
Oh, stop.
All right, hold on. And then we've got the early Morons in the news next here on the MJ Morning Show. If you watch the stock market. reveal who it is, but someone said something to me a while ago, and, well, I think it kind of... What?
About me?
Yes.
Someone I know?
Yes.
Someone in this room?
Not saying. All right. Hang on. So, listen, I think inquiring minds want to know something here, and we'll delve in just a moment. Stand by. Early morons in the news. Oh, man, the Villages. I love the Villages. That's right. Well, maybe not in this case. This is a guy in a news story out of the Villages News. And I'm telling you, this publication, do they actually print or is it just online? Do you know? I have no idea.
Yeah, I haven't been to the Villages in ever. And so I've never...
I'm guessing that a lot of the Villages residents, they want to hold a newspaper. No, we don't want to go online. We want to hold an actual paper. Don't we get a guy that calls us that drives the Villages News truck?
Yeah, I guess they do
So
have a printed edition.
I guess they do have an actual print edition. So the Villages News, the huge retirement area with all the different villages, like it's sprawled like in 3 different counties, isn't it?
Yeah, Marion, Sumter, and some other one.
Lake.
Yeah.
So massive. The Villages, the retirement spot, like mostly 55 plus, and there were stories about STDs were going through the roof up there, that all the senior citizens were all boinking and hitting up each other. And,
you're making light of that. Per capita, the Villages is like the number 1 STD ratio part in the country. Like it's.
How do you know that?
We've talked about that.
No. I've never heard that stat. We've talked about the Villages.
STDs running rampant there.
We've heard that the STD, the sexually transmitted disease situation in the Villages, that it is high, but I don't think I've ever seen a stat fester that you said that it's per capita the highest concentration of crotchy crawlies in the nation. What do you?
That would be quite a stat, actually.
What?
The highest amount of STDs in the nation? I thought.
Well, that's why I'm questioning Fester, because I've never heard that specific stat.
Here, I type in the Villages STDs at myth or fact. The Villages is the STD capital of the U.S. Next one. What's the truth behind the urban legend of STDs in the Villages?
Well, is it an urban legend?
Romance and STDs?
Well, hold on. Why don't you? That's out of the Villages News. Look at that. Why don't you click on that? Yeah. This is from 2019. It says the year was 2006, and a Villages gynecologist was about to make a serious dent in the image of Florida's friendliest hometown.
The song, it's right there.
That's right.
Florida's friendliest hometown.
And
I have a texter who every time we talk about the Villages sends a text to remind me the story that they shared about the loofah sponges hanging off the car antennas, and that's indicative of what your
that's a different thing.
It's under the same category as liking to.
In 2006, a Villages gynecologist was about to make a serious dent in the image of Florida's friendliest hometown, one that wasn't going to be welcomed with open arms. During an interview, the OBGYN reported that she treated more cases of herpes and human papillomavirus at the Villages than she did when she practiced in Miami.
Wow.
That's 2006. It was a statement that she'd later somewhat recant and clarify, but the damage was done. The damage was done. Shot through the heart. There we go. Right? I was trying to think of that lyric.
How'd you like to go through 70 years of your life and stay STD free and then fall off the wagon at 75?
Screw it.
Yeah.
Living in the Villages. Let's do it.
At
Tell you
that
what.
point, whatevs.
It's like the Villages STD apocalypse. Can you say apocalypse?
Not even. Nope. This isn't a apocalypse free segment.
No, the Villages is not in Apopka.
Yeah, the damage was done. There was a heightened awareness of the possibility of promiscuity in the Villages, and the story spread like wildfire. Suddenly, adult children were calling their parents to find out what was going on, and some retirees quickly rethought plans about where to spend the best years of their life.
What? You're thinking about moving to the Villages and you find out they have crazy sex there and you don't want to move there?
It wasn't long before crews from Orlando television stations descended on the community, and the story became even more legendary. There was talk of a black market for Viagra and sordid tales of prostitutes frequenting Katie Bell's at night. What is that? Is that a restaurant?
Must be a bar, a restaurant.
A bar? That quickly spread, with some residents saying they fully believed that one to be true. A primary care physician in the community with ties to the Villages brass did his part to kill the urban myth about rampant STDs in the mega retirement community. He was quoted as saying that neither he nor his colleagues had seen any kind of increase in STDs in the 5,000 patients they treated. Then their statistics from the Florida Department of Health seemed to support the doctor's claim, as the rate of syphilis and gonorrhea cases in the Tri-County area had remained steady from 2000 to 2004. For the next couple of years, the shady talk of rampant sexually transmitted diseases continued.
This is a long article, by the way.
As it finally started to die off, the community suffered a double whammy of sorts that brought it all back to life.
Right.
In 2008, author Andrew Blackman released a book called Leisureville that told sordid tales of nightlife in the Villages.
She served me a glass of Metamucil, and I knew that was her sign for that she's ready.
Anyway, he wrote a story telling the exploits of a 63-year-old bachelor known as Mr. Midnight.
Oh my God. How do I not know about this book?
Mr. Midnight in the Villages, yes.
You want to write a romance novel, look no further than the Villages.
Mr. Midnight, oh my God. As talk of this guy's book circulated throughout the community, the villagers made a run to the local bookstores to get a copy. And the second whammy came to life. The New York Post released the story with the headline, Romance and STDs Inside Florida's Wild Retirees Getaway.
Yeah.
The Villages.
Do it.
So it doesn't seem like... It seems like it is urban legend. In 2014, with the urban legend of STD still alive and well, Sex on the Square story broke. It centered around the arrests of villager Margaret Peggy Clem and Summerfield's David Allen Bobilia for engaging in sexual intercourse in the pavilion at Lake Sumter Landing Market Square.
Not the pavilion in the square.
In the pavilion.
Neither story had anything to do with STDs. In fact, they look young. They're not even retirees.
That's the thing about the Villages. For all the old geezers living there has to be a lot of younger people to hold up the infrastructure.
Anyway, in December of 2017, the STD rumor amazingly still circulating across the community. An article published in Seniors Health took on the controversy. It pointed out that stories about high rates of STD cases in the community were likely exaggerated. So
this goes on for like 20 more minutes.
It does. Well, listen, it seems, though, that it's more of an urban legend than reality is what it seems like.
Okay. Anyway, you were saying the Villages.
Yes.
It's not even just a thing you want to talk about.
Yeah, I haven't done the actual... I have not done the actual Villages story that I'm doing now. All right, so here we go. Out of Summerfield, Morons in the news. Man has been arrested and jailed for resisting arrest. Why? What caused the whole legal issue? Guy turns a hose on a woman. But listen to the circumstances here. Guy up in the Villages, Summerfield, turned a hose on a woman, was jailed after he battled with the cops who attempted to arrest him. This is Marion County Sheriff's deputies that were called to a home after 33-year-old John Lee Cronin sprayed a woman with a garden hose after he asked her if he could take a drink from it. I said, wait a minute. Can I take a drink from your garden hose?
Is that a euphemism?
Sounds like he was just thirsty.
Yeah, then you take the hose, you take a drink, and then you turn the hose on her and spray her down?
Here's your drink.
Is that a thing?
Now it's time for you to have a sip.
It's not an old guy. This is a young guy. This is a guy with a crazy...
Still talk like this.
Fit in.
This guy's got a crazy beard. He's got a whole neck of tattoos going on here. Yeah, he's 33 years old. So this guy Cronin has a previous criminal history in Baltimore. He pulled away from the deputies who tried to take him into custody. And the deputies had to subdue him with their taser.
So I'm sorry. What was the crime?
They shocked the guy. The crime was I guess a battery. He turned the hose and sprayed the woman down. Yeah. So they tasered the guy. They took him down, took him into custody. Arrested on 3 counts of battery, 2 counts of resisting arrest. And the guy was booked into the Marion County Jail, $20,000 bond. But is that a thing? Hey, ma'am, do you mind if I take a drink of water out of your hose? Oh, sure, here you go. And then just turns the hose on the woman and just totally douses her.
That's pretty funny. There's a great YouTube channel with fighting neighbors, and this one guy always controls his drunk neighbor by spraying him down with a hose every morning when he's drunk. He's like, and he's like, get out of my yard. Shut up. And then he just sprays him, and he just stands there.
You serious?
Is it in the Villages?
Probably. A couple old guys.
Is Summerfield, this is out of the Villages News.
It's a town in Marion County.
So that's not actually like the Villages?
I don't know.
Is it near Chitty Street?
Listen, when I saw, what was that? That was a story from yesterday, right?
Yeah, wasn't that another village?
It was another
Chitty
village. Yeah, Chitty Chatty Village. Yeah, that's serious. That's the name of one of the villages. Chitty Chatty Village.
We're gonna name this town Crappy.
I hear it's a really chitty street to live on. By the way, yeah. But is that a thing, or do you think this could be a new Shorty Shane segment? He walks through neighborhoods, and we've got hidden video, and Shorty Shane walks through neighborhoods and tells people, "Oh man, I'm parched. Do you mind? Can I get a drink of water out of your hose? Where is it?" And they, like a friendly neighbor would hand him the hose, and then Shorty Shane just starts dousing him with the water.
I mean, this resulted in an arrest.
What do you think a guy would really kick a short guy's ass?
Yeah.
Shorty Shane is like the size of a 3rd grader, or actually less. Shorty Shane is probably the size of a kindergartner, right?
A kindergartner with grown man arms.
Yeah, Shorty Shane is like 3'5", right?
I think we should bring back Midget in a Tree since we have a new one.
Now, we ought to try that. We ought to try the can I get a drink out of your hose challenge.
Could you imagine the shock? A little person first asks you for a drink and then just douses you.
Douses you with
like,
water.
What world am I living in?
My God, that could get him arrested. Yeah, better
you
not.
Think?
Why do you think so?
They got this normal-sized person arrested.
All right, folks, I don't know what's going on here. Unbelievable. How do you get released from prison after serving an 8-year sentence for bank robbery, and the next day after you're released, what do you do?
Don't do it. Don't say it.
What do you think, Frog?
Don't say he robbed a bank.
He sure as hell did.
God.
Sure did. Of course, it's a Florida story. This dude served an 8-year prison sentence for a 2013 bank robbery, and then late last week, he robbed another one a day after his release after being incarcerated for 8 years. Yeah, according to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, Timothy Jones, 59, he walked into the Truist Bank on South Orange Blossom Trail in, Orange County, I guess the Orlando area, and demanded $150,000 in $150 bills.
Okay, we have that right here.
And that if he did not receive the money, he would shoot a banker.
Okay.
Then deputies said he forcibly took a car, a dark gray 2014 Toyota Camry, and then he fled. My God. Cops didn't say how much he actually got away with, how much money the bank handed him. But deputies say they believe it's possible that Jones ditched the car and is traveling by bus. Car wasn't found, and the dude was last seen wearing a blue short-sleeve polo shirt, blue cargo shorts with white socks. So, according to the story from a couple of days ago, they didn't find the guy. Is he still on the run? Hey, Fester, did they have him yet, or is he still on the lam?
I haven't seen any updates that he's been caught yet.
Yeah.
Look at his shirt.
Is it? Yeah. Go back. Go back to the picture. And yeah.
Does that look familiar to you?
Oh my God, this guy and I are wearing the exact same thing. Blue polo shirt.
Yeah. Fester and the guy have the same shirt.
White socks.
Yeah, they've got an image of him from the bank surveillance video. And again, last I saw, the guy's still on the run. Released from jail, 8-year stint.
Wow.
8-year stretch. And the guy robs another bank the day after he gets out of jail.
Hey, MJ, how much money do banks keep in their at any time.
That is a closely guarded secret,
Isn't it
ladies
only
and
like
gentlemen.
a couple of $1,000s, like $10,000. If you want to make a big withdrawal, you have to call them a day in advance or something.
I think banks probably have large amounts of money on hand on paydays, or if that. I don't know if that's a thing anymore. Anyway, banks don't disclose how much they keep on hand, and I think they limit what they keep on hand to deter potential bank robberies. So, hey, Roxanne, we didn't get to your little engagement issue here. But darn! Oh, you being a little smart? You being facetious over there? Oh, darn!
Possibly.
We will get to it next and more, ladies and gentlemen. The possum or the opossum in a bar in New York City, and the crowd goes wild. That a whole lot more. Roxanne's got her issues, and I want. Is there an update on the woman with the 22-pound boobs kicked off the airplane? All right, hold on. All of this next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Got the whole crew here, Froggy, Fester, Roxanne, who has conveniently disappeared because, I mentioned that I want to talk about her upcoming alleged wedding. Remember, Roxanne told, here she is. I thought she was avoiding us, thought she was ducking out. No, Roxanne had told us that she was probably getting married in November. And now, Roxanne, earlier today, you seemed to indicate that you and Dig Dug had a discussion about that very situation, about getting married later this year. And it seemed that your demeanor was somewhat non-committal.
Well, this is where I'm going to say that you're not a very good reader of people's emotional state, because that was not a non...
Excuse me.
Got you.
This is
She got you.
All right. Well,
because all I was saying is I'm very undecided in what and how I want to do it. And I do want to start this conversation with love, saying this is something that you are hung up on. Doug and I are not hung up on being married or not being married.
I'm not hung up on.
You seem a little hung up on it.
I think a little bit.
All right. Well, okay, maybe I am. I'm just
Perplexed by it.
That is a good word. I am perplexed by the fact that you guys have been engaged for now. What is the real number of years? What the
real number?
How many years have you been engaged?
7. It'll be 7 in November in October.
All right. I've always said like 8 or 10. So you've been engaged for still.
And we've had
It's closer to 10.
7 years is a long engagement not to actually get married.
In the 60s, it's what are you talking
MJ,
about? People stay engaged, and people don't even get engaged and stay
I
together
think you're
forever.
missing the mark on this one just a hair.
Why am I missing the mark?
I think because it's completely acceptable in today's time to be not married at all and have a fully functioning, successful, wonderful family.
I don't care
and not get pestered every time by you.
I don't care if they ever get married. It's just
what happened to the sheet we used to have where you put a mark every time?
I actually kept a tally board of how many times you bring up Roxanne's marital status.
Roxanne keeps mentioning her fiance. Doug. And
I just say hubby when I talk about him.
Of course,
and I'm sorry that's offensive to people who are actually married.
We call him Dig Dug. We call Doug Dig Dug. And I'm sorry, every time you talk about your fiance, I just want to know, I think it's a natural progression.
Listen.
When are you going to get married so he's your husband and not your fiance?
If there are people in my personal life who pester me about that, and there aren't many because they know better, but for those who do, I give them a little rope, and then I finally say, and when are you going to get divorced? Because 50% of marriages end in divorce.
That's your retort?
Yes, and I won't say that to you because you guys have a lovely marriage.
And the same way you are 7 years overdue for marriage, MJ is amazingly like a decade overdue for a divorce.
Yeah, I mean, for real.
Why would you guys say that?
Why would you say this about Roxanne?
All of us are married forever. Like, what's the difference?
I thought my wife was going to dump me like 15 years ago.
Oh, he was certain.
Yeah, I was like, Psh, I'm out of here.
She's out.
She's
You're
out.
So to Froggy's point, when we get married, we're going to wake up the next day and we're going to love each other to the same amount. We're going to fight the same amount.
I get it.
It's not going to change anything.
You said that you were probably getting married in November, that you were planning for that. Is that going to happen? Are you still looking at a November wedding with Dig Dug? Yes or no?
This is where we are right now in the discussions. As I said, I'm a very decisive person, and I don't know what I want to do.
I'm a very
decisive
person. I just don't know what I want to do.
Yeah, in this situation, so it's a little odd because I don't know if I want a medium-sized wedding. I don't know if I want a destination wedding. I don't know. Here's the thing, and I'm going to be very transparent with you. Even though it was many years ago and I was in my 20s, I'm a little traumatized by wedding planning. Because when I was you guys haven't experienced this because you stayed married to your first spouse. But when I met my ex-husband, we got engaged 6 months later. It took me a year to plan a wedding with my mom. We did it together. And then, literally like the day we got married, everything turned to hell in a handbasket.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. So the day you got married, it all went to crap?
Well, it wasn't the actual day, but like there were so many signs the day of the wedding and then the next day and then everything.
What was the
I do. Man, I am so annoyed with you already.
I do not.
What was the sign the day of the wedding?
I just remember like everything started to, there were issues with the honeymoon.
It was just different.
He got so drunk, I got locked out of my bridal suite or out of my hotel room. Like
he got so
yeah.
drunk.
But listen, I'm not that. This isn't a bash my
Baseball
ex-husband segment at all because I have feelings for him in a special way. He's a wonderful person. But we got married too young, so I realize when you get married, it doesn't make life easier. It isn't magical. It isn't a fairy tale. It's quite stressful, and so. Everything is just moving along swimmingly with Doug, so I don't feel that pressure that you are putting on me.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I don't know what I want to do. Doug's like, let's just go to the courthouse. And I'm like, yeah, but we want to give our kids some of the pageantry. That's why we've waited. And my big thing was I didn't want to be a mom of a kindergartner. Fester's is going to leave the room now as I'm on my...
I don't want to be... Roxanne, I don't think you should have to explain yourself to this capacity.
So guess what? I didn't want to have a different last name than my kindergartner starting school. Guess what? I changed my name on my email, so... That's good for me.
Emails changed.
Yeah.
So, is that why you changed it to Doug's name?
Yeah, because when I emailed
But you're not
school,
legally married, so you're legally not supposed to use this.
None of this concerns you, dude.
Roxanne
should not have to explain herself.
But Roxanne earlier today
Who gives a
made a mention about her wedding.
No, you said you led in with.
Wait a minute.
Your fiance of X amount of years.
Are you guys scheduling this around Derek Jeter being there? Because you know he's going to be the best man, I'm sure.
Oh, my God.
He's going to be the officiant.
Do me a favor. If you do have a wedding and we still know each other, don't invite me, okay, please?
Oh, what a curmudgeon.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Hey, speaking of weddings, this is a perfect segue. And, of course, it's June. Hello, June. Have you seen the list of the top things that couples waste their money on at weddings? Have you seen this?
What do you mean?
I can only imagine.
Like actually having one, Roxanne. Don't even worry about it, kid. You're doing great.
The top events that happen at weddings, because, these wedding planners, and they try to, upsell you and try to plant all kinds of, events inside the wedding. Well, here's the list.
Like a picture booth?
This is, listen to this. Well, sort of like that. Yeah, you got little things inside the wedding. These are things that, wedding experts that are kind of bucking the trend, they're saying this is what a lot of folks waste money on at weddings. Number 1, champagne toasts.
Yeah, you have to buy 30 bottles of champagne for everybody to get a toast.
It gets expensive unless you're going to use some cheap crapo, toilet water champagne, or actually stuff that is probably not even allowed to be called champagne because it doesn't come from the Champagne region of France.
We got a whole bunch of mums.
Yeah.
And I don't like champagne. I'm one of those weirdos that doesn't like it, but there are a lot of people who don't. And then you're wasting that because you're giving someone a full glass of it to do the toast and they don't even drink it.
Well, guess what? This Marie Kubin, founder and CEO of Rent My Wedding, said that the champagne toasts are pricey and outdated. And listen to what she says, quote, not all guests like champagne, so there's almost always full glasses left on the table and extra unopened bottles. So unopened bottles and full glasses that people never even took a sip out of. They might hold the champagne flute up in the air for the toast. But
people probably don't even drink.
So if you want to save money at your wedding, maybe disregard the champagne toast. Champagne toasts and caviar dreams.
Champagne wishes.
What was it?
It was champagne wishes.
No, but I was doing toast.
Champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
Here is another waste of money, according to wedding experts at weddings. I think this is very public service oriented right now, especially since. What about the folks that have already planned June weddings for a long time, and all of these things are on their list?
Back out of the champagne toast.
You still can. It's not too late.
Yeah, they haven't purchased the champagne yet. Back out.
There's inflatable instruments on the list.
You're close. Froggy, you're getting close here, buddy. Balloon backdrops.
Oh.
Yep. Balloon backdrops. The expert here says you don't want your wedding reception to look like a birthday party.
Balloons? That's weird.
Big giant balloon arches, and you've seen the balloon arches where they use like a bendable wooden dowel, a giant hoop, and they're big huge balloon backdrops. Now the expert says that you don't want a balloon backdrop. It looks cheap. It looks like a birthday party. They don't provide any kind of an elegant feel to a wedding. So balloon backdrops. All right, here's the next thing. Wedding expert says that people are wasting their money on personalized napkins and place settings.
How about the personalized little champagne bottles that sometimes I was at one and it was like, congratulations. And it was like a crappy mum champagne.
Like a special label or the bottle's etched or something.
Well, hold on. Are you talking about personalized to the individual person or personalized with like the bride and groom's name on it?
The bride and groom.
Bride and groom, of course. Get personalized everything for everybody.
I don't know. I've gone to weddings where they give you some crappy tchotchke. It's like, hey, congratulations to Brad and Linda. And it has like the date on it.
Just give out the crappy candy almonds and call it a day.
And those are
Hold on, what? Crappy what?
Almonds.
An almond?
Yeah.
It's not an almond.
Yes, it is.
No, it's an almond.
Please.
It's an almond. The L is silent.
All right. You are such a speechist.
I know that some people say almond.
I say almond.
But you said almond. I mean, that's even totally wrong.
I don't know. You're going to make fun of my deviated septum again?
You don't stop.
God, what a...
boy, be glad you're married, Froggy, because he'd really come after you.
All right. The next item that people apparently waste money on at weddings, and my God, I've never heard of this. A donut wall?
Oh, I've seen those.
And then what do people go up and all take bites out of it?
No,
How does
you
that
take
work?
a donut off of it.
Okay, I've only heard of this at a wedding.
I saw one at a party.
Fester, was that you going,
Yes! I've only heard of this at a wedding where there was like a complete Krispy Kreme
donut wall?
Like instead of a traditional wedding cake that cost like, a ridiculously high amount of money,
right.
You just get 12 dozen donuts and everybody takes a cake donut and it's about the same.
That Outback party, the Outback Bowl party, when I blacked out, but I remember the donut wall.
Donut wall.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
I have the best idea for a donut wall. Don't scrap it from your wedding. Do it like pin the tail on the donkey, blindfold all the guests, and then people have to go up to the wall and take bites from the wall. How fun would that be?
That's right. I want guest mouth and saliva all over donuts that I might then.
That's your dream.
It sounds like your wedding's turning into an eyes wide shut party.
Did you say?
That's awesome.
You say COVID wall?
Oh, I've never seen a donut wall.
Oh, what's the filling of this donut? Oh, it's Omicron. That's delicious.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
It's almond Omicron. Froggy.
I've never heard of donut walls, but apparently you guys have.
No, I fantasize about a donut wall.
I've seen one in person.
You are my new hero.
Yeah, the wedding expert says no one wants to eat donuts hanging on a wall,
What a cake wall.
for 6 hours.
Just pieces of cake on a wall.
Those are lies.
God, has anyone really been to a wedding with a donut wall? I tell you what, I have no idea if the phone's going to ring on this. Has anybody listening right now? It is 7:15 at the MJ Morning Show here on a Wednesday. Has anybody that's listening right now, have you been to a wedding with a donut wall?
Oh, my God. I just pulled up donut wall on Google. This is awesome.
800-990-1047.
They're just sitting there on sticks, right?
Yeah, it's like a pegboard of donuts just hanging there.
Yeah, that's what the one I saw.
This is supposed to be classy? Come on. All right. Has anyone been to a wedding with a donut wall, or have you had a wedding where you had a donut wall? All right, 800-990-1047. Let's go to the donut wall phones if anyone calls in. 800, how prevalent is, oh boy.
When I was at one, the guy next to me was like, because they have a bunch of different flavors, and he was looking for cinnamon, then he goes, and just sneeze over the whole thing. I'm like, I'm out.
Oh my! All right, the phone is ringing here.
I hope this is one of the people who texted us, because I'm like, please call us with that story. He has a great donut wall story.
800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Donut walls. All right, let me finish just before I go to phones. Let me just go through this. All right, so other things, according to this wedding expert, Marie, that people waste their money on at weddings, skip printed wedding programs. You know, the customized wedding programs where it's all customized and engraved. Food trucks, they might look cool, but no one expects to be fed twice at a wedding reception. So don't feel pressured to have a food truck. People have food trucks.
Like, you'll have the party, and then outside will be like an ice cream truck for, I don't know. It's stupid.
I've never heard of a food truck.
I had a cigar bar at mine.
Yeah, he did.
A lot of people liked it.
Did I go to your wedding?
No, of course not.
You did
I
not
don't-
go
yeah,
to
I-
Froggy's
You're a
house.
jerk.
I was gonna say, I don't think I
Horrible friend.
I don't think I recall that.
We have a texter who
Yes.
I've asked her to please call, but she says, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm at work. So I will share her story.
All right.
She and her husband went to a wedding with a donut wall, and nearly 40% of the guests that ate the donuts got sick with norovirus. The next day.
Oh my God! That's the poop.
She's got a call.
That's the poop virus. That's the poop. Oh my God!
Fecal donut.
You thought it was chocolate glaze.
Oh,
I'll take the chocolate cover. Oh, wait.
Stop, guys! Stop.
Amber Heard is like, this is my favorite.
Was that the caller that you wanted to call?
Yes.
That was the texter
Yes.
you wanted to call in.
She says she
All
can't.
right.
We got a bunch of people actually
All
calling
right,
in.
let's go to phones
That's
here.
horrific.
Oh my God. Danielle in Tampa. Danielle, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. Have you been to a wedding with a donut wall?
Not a wall. I wouldn't call it a wall. My sister just got married in February. And the bottom part of their cake was the donuts, like donuts on a plate or donuts on a whatever, donut wall.
We want
And
donuts on a
the
wall.
top-
So the
I
cake,
don't know.
hold on, the
It was cake/donut.
cake was sitting on a bed of donuts?
Yeah, because she married a cop, so they did donuts.
Oh, okay. Well,
come on.
That's actually
there
pretty
you
funny.
go.
The
There-
donut wall would have been
I
perfect.
got, but I didn't get it. I was like, what?
Yeah, there you have it. Hey, thanks, Danielle.
How
Have
do
a
you not get it?
Should have like a steak wall. Serve everything on a wall. Bread,
It's a bread wall.
steak, fish,
Salad.
So
salad on the wall.
the buffet is all on the wall.
Mashed potatoes are on that wall over
on
there,
the
sir.
Yeah, all the mashed potatoes just falling down the wall.
All right, Brian is in Lakeland. Hey, Brian, MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning. Hey, my daughter's getting married in, July. We had a reception thing at this bar, and she wanted a donut pegboard.
Yes, yeah, that's
I'm a
it.
handyman, so she said, Dad, you got to build me this donut pegboard. I was like, what? So I said, send me some pictures. She sent pictures. It cost me $98 to build a donut pegboard. And
What do you take, like a
and
piece
I
of
had-
plywood and just put dowels in the plywood?
You buy the pegboard at Home Depot or Lowe's.
Right.
And you buy the pegs, and then you stick it all together. And I had people
What do you put those metal rods on there, like the shop bench in your garage?
Yes.
You hang your pliers
I
and
saw
duct tape.
I saw all the stuff to make the
You got it.
All right,
And
so
then I had people. I was going to throw it in the trash, and I had people afterwards. Don't throw that in the trash. I'll take it.
Use peg hooks and just hang a donut.
You could have sold it and recouped all your money, man.
so your daughter really had a donut pegboard wall at her wedding?
It's awesome.
Yes. Well, she hasn't had the wedding yet. It was a reception at a winery, and it's like a pre-wedding thing. I don't know. You know
Gotcha.
how
All right, so that was a pre. Is she going to have the donut wall again at the actual wedding or no?
I don't think so.
All right, thanks for the call. Look at that.
A manufacturer of a donut wall. How about that?
The norovirus, the norovirus donut wall. That is nasty.
SARS
Listen,
wall.
she can't call, but she's giving me the follow-up.
Yeah.
Everyone thought they had alcohol poisoning, but it turned out that it could have been food poisoning at the same time because the donut wall was next to where they were cooking the raw meat.
Oh, God.
The donuts are just
Oh,
infused with raw meat.
I would have loved to have gone to that wedding just to watch people
Gag.
Ladies and gentlemen, the update on the woman with the 22-pound boobs kicked off an airplane. We'll give you those details in just a second. Also, this is interesting. Have you ever had a fight with a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a significant other? They walked out and never came back?
Yeah, it's called a breakup.
Well, but wait a minute. But
What are you talking about?
hold on. They never come back. No, there's an interesting twist. All right, hold on to that thought. That and a whole lot more coming up in just a bit here on the MJ Morning Show. Oh, also coming up at 8 o'clock, the list of what gets people banned from a pizzeria.
That's a pretty hard place to get banned from.
How do you get banned from ordering pizza? All right, hold on. All of that and a whole lot more come. I haven't even scratched the surface. Our long chunk of the MJ Morning Show starts next here on Q105, so stand by. Chunk of the MJ Morning Show starting right now. Now, I have a little observation to make here. Well, how do I... You know what? Let me wait for Roxanne to get back in the room. Roxanne, she said she had to use the restroom or something. I have a restroom issue, and I want to discuss this because a little while ago during the last break, I took a rare exit from the studio because generally I don't leave the studio. Generally, I do not leave the studio
that is true.
During all 4 hours, I typically do not leave.
It's not good for your health.
But I had to leave the studio because I wanted to, use the restroom. Typically, I don't. But I left the studio. I run into Fester in the bathroom.
Oh,
yes.
And there is an observation.
You never want to run into Fester in the bathroom. You'll always turn off the lights.
Hang on. There's an observation that I would like to make about my encounter with Fester in the bathroom a few moments ago. Fester, it wasn't long enough. All right?
I've been telling him that for years.
Yeah. Froggy's told me that.
Hold on. Maybe. Oh, that didn't come out right.
Yeah.
No. Hang on. That did not.
I know it wasn't.
That didn't come out right. Hang on. I just said I ran into Fester in the bathroom. I have an observation to make. It wasn't long enough.
Wait a minute.
Duration.
Yeah. Thank you.
Roxanne.
Roxanne.
You gotta get your prostate checked.
That doesn't sound right either. I ran into Fester. The duration wasn't.
I'm getting critiqued on all angles. At least Roxanne's the duration angle.
Fester. Now, I was still doing my business as you had finished yours and you had gone to the sink. First of all, I'm actually shocked that you would even stop at the sink because you come across as the kind of guy that you're in the bathroom doing your stuff and you just walk right out.
Right out.
Yeah. You're the kind of guy that I would typically peg as don't even stop at the sink. Has your hand ever actually touched or gotten near a soap dispenser? That would be my first inclination.
What are those things called? Soap dispensers?
Usually he uses
it was plenty long.
Roxanne, what do you think was not long enough that I observed Fester in the bathroom with?
He didn't scrub his hands for happy birthday. Is it 2 times that you have to sing happy birthday?
Oh, I was thinking totally different.
Guess what? Roxanne is 100% right. Yes. So
I was thinking he had prostate issues, and there was a really
when you said it wasn't long enough, the duration wasn't right. I was thinking my junk too.
No. So Fester finishes, and I can hear he goes to the sink. I heard the water go psh, for a nanosecond.
Okay, first of all,
Fester uses the bathroom, goes to the sink, and all I hear is psh, and that's it. And then the water's off. I didn't even hear the soap dispenser go. I heard nothing. Fester, you did not wash your hands long enough.
No, I
Roxanne,
washed
smell them.
Plenty long.
No.
I wouldn't subject Roxanne to that.
My hands are perfect right now.
No way.
They're cleaned on both sides.
Fester,
How much of yourself are you fondling during a bathroom visit anyway?
Fester, everyone knows, especially in a time of COVID. And you know what? The regular flu is kind of rampant right now.
I heard that, yeah.
The regular flu bug, not COVID, the regular flu. People are coming down with the flu. It's spreading all over the place.
How can you tell a difference?
A test?
Yeah, you take a test.
Yeah, you take a test so they can identify that you have flu with a test.
Or that you don't have COVID. All right, so here's the Fester. Have you never heard that when you use the bathroom, you go to the sink and... if you want to measure the duration of how long you should wash your hands, one of the guidelines is...
You up.
You either do Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
It's ABCs, I
and
thought.
And another one is you can do the ABC song. You wash your hands to the duration of...
A, B, C, D.
Oh, my God. This is also a slow one.
Did you find the 2 slowest?
My God.
Q, R, S, T, U, L, V.
What's this guy doing? Is this guy tubing it when he's singing?
All right.
Yeah, this guy sounds a little creepy.
Yeah, this is horrifying.
Yeah. So
does this dude have to turn off his porch light on Halloween?
all right, this dude has 227,000 views on
charges.
Fester,
No, this guy has 227 million views.
Dude,
on YouTube.
You did not wash your hands long enough. That was a half-assed hand wash job. And listen, you come into the studio and you're touching surfaces. And I think you need to exhibit better personal hygiene.
I wash my hands to the Jackson 5 ABC song.
ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Not the 1, 2, 3 part.
Oh.
ABC.
Oh, that's it?
That's how long the washer was.
I guess that's commensurate with the water going, psh, and that was it.
ABC. All right, see you later, guys.
Have a nice day. Oh, I was like about to ask Fester a question. He was gone. I heard the door slam. Oh, boy. Is there an update on the 22-pound boob lady by any chance?
Who cares?
And I bring this up because I'm flying later today.
Yes.
Julie and I are flying. We're going on a father-son scuba trip. And I just wonder, on any flight I'm on, am I going to run into one of these completely inappropriately dressed passengers?
I hope so.
No, I've seen cases. You know, because we've talked about them on the air. We've talked about mostly women, actually, that have been either denied boarding, told to cover up, or, you know what? I've seen guys or stories where guys have like a T-shirt on that's like totally profane. It's like the F-bomb, and it's like on their shirt. And I don't know if I've seen it happen in person, but we've read stories where the flight attendant or the gate agent will say, sir, if you want to get on the flight, you need to turn your shirt inside out or put a different shirt on. But if you missed this earlier in the week, there is a woman who was flying, I guess, out of Dallas, right? This woman was flying
from Canada to Dallas.
A recent flight from Canada to Dallas. And a woman, she's a Canadian, like, freak show model. Her name is Mary Magdalene, which, probably not on her birth certificate. This woman is, like, disfigured with her boobs. She has boobs literally the size of, what would you, I can't.
Like a medicine ball.
What would you, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
They're the weight of a medicine ball.
You know,
bigger than a basketball.
You have those medicine balls at the gym that come in different sizes.
Yeah, like those.
This is the largest one.
The ones you sit on.
She's got like 2 medicine balls attached to her chest. They're all tatted up. They are ridiculously disfiguring and grotesque looking. They are outrageous. And then she's got her lips are puffed up like inner tubes. The woman is, I mean, I'm sorry, she looks hideous. And she was kicked off a flight because she claims the flight attendant said that she wouldn't take her headphones off during the safety announcement. But she says, no, it's because of her boobs. You got to see the flotation devices that she tried to get on this airplane with. And Fester, is there any update? Because she said that she might reveal the airline, but she didn't reveal what airline it was that kicked her off. But I got to be honest, this woman walking down the aisle, if she's walking through first class, walking through the cabin, trying to find her seat, man, these boobs are so huge. I would imagine that they'd be slapping the people in the aisle seats as she's walking down the aisle. Ow! Andrew, is this story still up on our MJ Morning Show? It is. All right.
So they wouldn't qualify as carry-on.
If you want to see, oh, you're right.
You're right.
Ma'am, there's only one carry-on. You're right.
You know, if she's in a middle seat, each boob is going to be laying on the armrest.
Oh, no. If she's in the middle seat, one boob is going to be hitting the person in the window seat, and the other one is going to be she's going to be boobing the 2 people next to her. Her boobs are absolutely going to be touching those in the aisle and the window if she were stuck in the middle.
I'd be afraid to sit next to her.
My God. All right, anyway.
All right, so American Airlines has come forward.
Okay, so see, that's what I was getting at.
She didn't out them as much as American Airlines kind of got ahead of it and said, hey, listen, originally the story was that she was let off the plane because she refused to take her headphones off during listening to instructions. However, a source close to American Airlines says it was her
No,
behavior.
TMZ sources close to American Airlines, I want to give TMZ credit, are saying that her behavior was what got her booted. Apparently, she was taking up seats that were not allocated to her. Yes, because her boobs are they're grotesque. Apparently, Magdalene was taking up seats that were not allocated to her, leading staff to believe that she was probably drunk and asked to leave, which she did without a struggle. This points an extremely different story that Magdalene has told her followers. So anyway, you got to see what this woman looks like. Folks, when you get a chance and you can safely view the internets, not while driving, go to mjmorningshow.com, go to mjmorningshow.com, and you got to take a look at this woman. We talked about this earlier in the week, and I wanted to know if there was a follow-up, and sure enough, there is a follow-up. It was American Airlines. Andrew, where can people go on mjmorningshow.com to see the link to this woman?
Stories heard on today's show.
All right, so go to mjmorningshow.com, and then you'll see the link, stories mentioned on the MJ Morning Show. That's what it actually says. Stories mentioned on the MJ Morning Show. You click on that, and then scroll down and find the woman with the boobs.
It's down a little bit, but we'll bump it up.
No, it's probably near the top.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Yeah, so it's the top item. Yeah, it's number one. It's top item.
Whoa.
You got to see what this woman looks like.
She looks great.
It's what?
Good for her.
It is preposterous. All right, Rox, before I move on, you mentioned that I pointed something out and I didn't say what it was earlier. What was it?
Yeah, you were like, okay, headed into one of the earlier breaks, one of your teases was, someone told me something about you. And what? So what you been hearing?
You stroking out over there?
Yeah.
So what's you been hearing?
Here's the deal.
Jeez, it's like a mob boss.
Well, who?
She's like threatening you. What are you talking about?
What you talking about?
You had some information on me. Somebody told you something about me, eh?
Hey, speaking of the mob, Michelle was watching after the Lightning game last night. By the way, congrats, Lightning. The Lightning beat the Rangers 4-1 last night. They had to do it. They have tied the series up, so both games have been won at home. So the Lightning now have tied the series up. You know, the Rangers came down here up 2-0. So now the series is 2-2. It goes back to New York to Madison Square Garden tomorrow night. And 2-2. This could go either way, obviously. And let's go Lightning. Come on.
I love that insight. This could go either way, obviously.
Thank you.
Either way. You know, it's a win or lose scenario.
In-depth hockey analysis from me, MJ the hockey hack.
Let me
right
add
here.
something to your repertoire of analysis.
Mm-hmm.
You could also say that last night's win is a momentum-changing sort of win in the series.
That's a good sports talk.
That's probably better than what I said.
No, what you said was accurate.
Back up to New York tomorrow night, and of course the best-of-7 win. And we also know who the Lightning or the Rangers are going to face. It's going to be the Avalanche, and I predicted a Lightning Avalanche.
So you're quite the quite the predictor.
So let's hope that the Lightning momentum can continue when they're on Rangers home ice tomorrow night up at MSG in New York, right above Penn Station. So go Lightning. All right, so I mentioned something. Roxanne, what do you recall me mentioning that I was supposed to talk about?
Is it someone told me something about you? That's what he said.
Is that your impression?
That's a pretty good impression.
That's an impression of me.
Make it gruffer like somebody.
Yeah, it needed a little gruffness.
All right, here's the deal. We were talking about you getting married because now you might not get married in November, although you had said earlier this year that you guys are planning a November wedding.
Deja vu. Go ahead.
And now you might not get married. Listen, I'm just going to say it. Somebody told me that you guys are never getting married. They said that Doug and Roxanne will never get married.
Who would have that information?
I don't hate that person.
All right.
That's just like
I never said you'd hate that person.
Yeah,
when did I say that? Oh.
No, I'm just curious. Who was it?
I'm not gonna breach their trust.
That's what you do.
Who does he do?
MJ,
Talk to anybody.
all the time.
Hold on. MJ's like a 50-50 trust breacher.
I'm not going to breach. Somebody said to me, we had talked about you and Dig Dug and your perpetual engagement. And some months ago, somebody said something to me after hearing us talk about it on the show. And they said, hey, little hot tip for you. Doug and Roxanne are, they're never getting married.
I'm just trying to connect the dots. Who would you know that would know anything about my personal life to answer that question for me?
Wouldn't you like to know?
So, what it sounds like, Roxanne, is somebody might have been just spouting off hypotheses, hypothetical situations. Okay. Yeah, I bet they never get married.
That was very anticlimactic.
I bet you.
You can say anticlimactic, but you cannot say apocalypse.
You cannot say the word apocalypse.
I can't say anticlimactic.
Roxanne trying to say the word apocalypse is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Roxanne, say the word.
Let's not just run it into the ground. It's so funny.
I can't
get
no, you know what, Roxanne? Don't do it for him.
Yeah.
He won't tell you. He won't tell you. Don't do it.
There you go. You tell me who. I'll say
Talk
it.
strike.
You first.
Talk strike.
No.
Do what I do. Put a piece of duct tape over your mouth.
I'm not breaching the trust of the person that told me that, hey,
MJ,
so
Roxanne. No, it's somebody. I don't want to say.
I don't think they're ever getting married either, but I wouldn't have said it to MJ. I might have. I don't know, but that certainly isn't me.
Did you see the video of the woman from Alaska carrying the opossum out of a Brooklyn, New York bar? An opossum gets into a bar in Brooklyn, New York, and the opossum's going. You ever see opossums? And they'll at night they'll kind of snarl at you.
All right, hold on, stop.
Yeah.
Is it possum or opossum?
It's
if you're uppity, you say opossum.
It's an opossum. It's OPPOSSUM.
No,
possum.
I've never called them. Oh, look, honey, there's an opossum in our backyard.
No, people are just saying the it's a possum. It's in other words, you're confusing. You're adding a letter, and they're just saying the word a.
It's not opossum.
Yes,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It is the name of the animal. By the way, do you know what kind of animal? What category an opossum is in?
A rodent.
Orangutan.
What do you say?
I say rodent.
It's not a rodent.
I say opossums or possums are descendants of dinosaurs.
Listen, maybe so.
A mammal.
It is a mammal, but no. An opossum is a
marsupial.
Yes,
Andrew
Froggy.
got it. Andrew was mouthing it.
It's a marsupial because it has the pouch.
It has a little pouch.
Yeah, to put the little babies inside. So it is opossum. It's OPP. It's OPPOSSUM. So in a Brooklyn, New York bar, an opossum ends up inside, and all of the New Yorkers, all the Brooklynites, they're freaking out. Turns out there was some kind of a brawny flannel-wearing lady inside the bar who is from Alaska. She just grabs the possum. I'm doing that for you, Frog. She grabs the possum, Froggy.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
She grabs the opossum and just takes it out of the bar and then just drops it in the street, and the opossum's now running down the street in Brooklyn.
Can you picture all the New Yorkers in Brooklyn? Hey, it is the biggest rat I've ever seen at this bar.
That's the hairiest rat ever.
Here is the audio from the video. Love it. Look at this. You hear this? What the? And then you hear.
You can get my car.
Then you hear outside.
Yeah! Let's go!
So you could hear the ambient sound change from inside the bar to walking outside the bar. The lady just grabs the opossum and drops it in the street, and then it scurries off.
You can hear one lady go, "Oh, you're gonna get hit by a car." Like one person cares about the dumb opossum.
That woman in New York's calling all of her friends, "Hey, Marie. Hey, Lisa." And they all come over.
I think it's going to be Odette.
Look at her just walking out.
She grabs it by the scruff of the neck. This woman from Alaska just grabs the opossum by the scruff of the neck and just takes it out of the bar and puts it in the street, and boom, right down the...
Dude, if she got bit by that thing, she would have had issues.
Well, obviously she's handled some opossum in her time.
This is dinner.
She looks like she's handled some opossum all right.
She absolutely does. All right, moving along here, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody have any clue on what the most vindictive astrological sign? I haven't even finished my sentence.
Gosh, no, but in my head, when you said vindictive, in my head, I said
Yeah.
astrological sign. I read your mind
So
all the time.
You were finishing
Yes.
my sentence?
It's weird. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Or
Well-
I'll just do the show.
Yeah, Roxanne, take over the segment, Rox.
Well, guess what? You guys are going to do the show. Hey, folks, what will the show sound like without me? Well, you'll get to find out because the last chunk of the show, beginning at about 9:30, the last chunk of the show, I'm not going to be here. It's going to be Fester, Froggy, and Roxanne. You guys are going to be doing the show because I got to split because I got to catch a flight. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming up later today, it's the MJ Morning Show with no MJ, Roxanne, Fester, and Froggy. What the hell are they going to do for the final chunk of the show later on? So I guess you'll find out. Is it going to be great or is it going to be a train wreck?
Don't you just love how he sets it up like this?
Yeah,
you could just leave and let us do it and not be like, oh my God,
Well,
guys,
I'm so amazing. I can read stories better than anybody.
Listen, let me read
we can
this
do
story.
morons too.
What is the most vindictive what's this word, Froggy? I can't read it.
I'm promoting you
No,
guys.
you're not. You're setting it up like we're going to be like,
MJ.
Take it to the engine morning day. Where do I talk?
Guys, I'm...
Everybody, it's fast.
guys, I'm turning your mics off. It doesn't matter if I turn your mics off.
Doesn't matter.
Can I get engineering to put some more gating on these mics, please?
How the microphone works?
Guys, stop. All right, here's the deal. I'm promoting you guys. I have to.
That was really offensive, Froggy. I just want to acknowledge that. You really,
I apologize.
That was really uncalled for.
It really was. Wait, you trying to get us canceled over
Can't
here?
leave us alone in here.
Jackwagon. All right, yeah. At 9:30, I got to roll. So when we hit a break at about 9:20, I got to hightail out of here to catch a flight. So you guys will do the last chunk of the show, and I'm just saying, hey, what's it going to sound like? Folks, you might want to listen. Try to listen live, and if not, you can go back and watch it on MJTV at MJMorningShow.com. Or, what was that, Andrew?
Nobody to run it in here.
You just have to... Oh, that's true. Oh, because... Froggy, can you come over and run the board?
Absolutely not.
Like,
How much you going to pay me?
I was going to have Andrew come in to run the board, but Andrew switches the cameras on MJTV.
Of course I can.
I'll run the board.
I can run the board.
You don't know how to run.
You don't run a board in your life.
Listen, all we gotta do.
You don't even know how to wash your hands in the bathroom, let alone run the console here.
Secret to radio success: don't learn how to run the board.
Yeah,
Right now. That's how you get out of weekend shifts.
Yeah,
Andrew,
that's
can you
smart.
find somebody to run the board, or can you find someone to switch the cameras?
Andrew, turn the mic on, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I can run the board. I'll just
But
stand over there.
All of our jokes about being inept are being coming back to bite us.
Now it's coming to fruition. No one knows. They don't even know how to run the equipment in here.
Turn on micro. I'm not going to be playing any sound effects. Oh, there's a train wreck.
You don't know how to go to break. You don't know how to go to commercial. You don't.
You press one button and then the computer launches the rest of it.
No, it doesn't. You don't even know what to do. All right, folks, you're going to want to listen to the final
Maybe
chunk
we
of the
should
show.
let Fester run the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody who's
Do
refused
you
to learn how
remember
to
the
do
one
it.
time I ran the board at the other radio station and I played the competition radio station
Yeah,
for
yeah,
like
it was a
50
good job.
minutes?
Oh my! He hit some wrong button.
The wrong button, and like Mix 96 was on the radio waves for like an hour.
God! All right. Anyway, so I think you want to listen after 9:30 and the final chunk of the show today without me, MJ. All right. Back to the most vindictive. So, Roxanne, you were completing when I said, hey, do you know what the most vindictive, you were already completing my sentence, the most vindictive astrological sign?
Yeah, that just popped into my head before you even said it.
Do you know what the most vindictive astrological sign is?
Well, I know on paper what it is. Yeah, I do.
On paper. Like is different in practice?
I mean, it's just like the
All right,
obvious.
what do you think the most vindictive astrological sign is according to astrologers? Which, folks, I don't believe in this BS, but Roxanne does. All right, so what is the most vindictive astrological sign?
In theory, it is Scorpio.
That's
no,
wrong.
I just said in theory.
No.
But in practice, you may
Oh,
find
shit.
Cancer, Capricorn.
Are you going to list them all?
No, I just named 3 of them.
Well, you said 2. You said Scorpio and Capricorn.
And Cancer and Capricorn.
And
no?
none of those are right.
Okay.
Nope. Nope.
So tell me, astrological wizard.
Roxanne is a Pisces, right?
Yes, I am.
She's a
I'm not
Pisces.
claiming to be an astrological wizard here. I'm claiming to be an ass sometimes, but not an astrological wizard. The most vindictive zodiac sign, according to astrologers, is Aries.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I could see that, but they're just you see it coming. Sneaky vindictive. They're not sneaky vindictive.
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
What?
I'm joking.
Okay, well then tell us what the real answer is.
I'm joking.
Just go through the whole
This joke's
list and
going
say
over
they're all
like a turd because there's only 12 of them.
I'm kidding. What was one of the signs that you said was most vindictive?
I started with Scorpio, and then but that's just
That's right.
okay,
What?
well,
Just lie.
I
Just leave now.
so, so
liar.
I was actually correct with my
Yes,
information.
you were.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. I'm a Scorpio.
You were. It was
They have
too
little
easy for you just to
skinny
blurt
things.
it out. I want.
Yeah.
She got it right. She
Right.
knows her stuff
Yeah.
when it comes to this astrological stuff.
Scorpios are the most vindictive and brutal of all zodiac signs.
Because they have little stingers. They have stingers on.
I have
that's
one.
Their,
Scorpions, you mean? They have the scorpion.
yeah.
I'm vindictive as hell.
All right, is that
You-
because
hold on. You what?
I'm vindictive. What? Let me guess.
No.
You're gonna make fun of the way I said it too.
No,
you know
no.
what?
All right.
Froggy, come on. Calm down, dude.
You're such a.
No, I'm entertained by some of your pronunciations, all right?
All right, I got a pronunciation for you.
I'm a, what?
Bleep hole. How's that for a pronunciation?
I'm entertained by some of your butcherings of the English
So
language.
I butcher some of the language. Big deal.
Is it okay that I'm entertained?
Yeah, be entertained by my speech impediment. That's great.
I didn't. You don't have a speech impediment. I'm just saying you mispronounce a lot of words.
You're upsetting Fester. You're upsetting Fester.
Both of you are. You guys are morons. I'm sitting here enjoying my root beer.
I just find it kind of humorous. All right. What does it take to get banned from a pizza delivery place? You know what? I'm guessing that this could spawn some really good phone calls from probably folks in the restaurant business or maybe pizza business. All right, hold on to that thought. I'll get to it in 5 seconds. First, though, the trip-a-day song to win a 3-day staycation at the Tradewinds Island Resort on St. Pete Beach. You're listening for Vogue, 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 Vogue. You're listening for Vogue by Madonna. It'll run today in the 6 p.m. hour. When you hear it, when we play Vogue in the 6 p.m. hour, just be the 7th caller to win the Q105 trip a day. Pizza delivery bannings. What does it take? And this is pretty interesting. It turns out, and this is one of Fester's favorite websites, which is
Reddit?
Yes. Fester loves Reddit and all these little subgroups and all the discussion threads.
You can get into a Reddit rabbit hole that just eats up half your day.
Well, probably eat up your life before you know it. You're 90 years old.
I'm 90.
There was a photo that popped up in some Reddit group, and it was a pizzeria's list of blacklisted customers. So they had a list of customers that were blacklisted, and then there was like a little description of why they were blacklisted. Now, I'm thinking that we could probably ask for phones here. If you're a restaurant owner or if you've ever been a restaurant employee, a pizza shop or whatever, I would say maybe primarily delivery places.
Any restaurant.
Yeah, any restaurant, but I could see where delivery people from the restaurant might have had a weird or an odd encounter, before, let's say, DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that. But hey, maybe, if there's an issue, if there's a problem, does Uber Eats or DoorDash or the delivery, Postmates, do they report back to the restaurant that this customer sucks and there's a big problem here? Or I don't know if they internalize it and just keep it to themselves. But here's the deal. I'm going to read this little list here that I saw from the Reddit thread, and it's pretty interesting. But if you have ever been involved in a restaurant operation where you had to ban a customer, what was a customer blacklisted for? Any good stories out there? Have you ever had an issue where you worked at a restaurant and people were blacklisted? They couldn't order from you anymore. Let's say the phone number came up as a blacklisted phone number. What happened? What's the story? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That's the number to call. 800-990-1047 if you have any good stories about customers being blacklisted because of their behavior or whatever at a restaurant.
See, you figured it'd be easy to get blacklisted from a pizzeria if you call in every day and just order like the large sausage pizza. And you talk really creepy when you do it.
And you really don't want the pizza. You just want to say large sausage. Is that it? All right. Here's the deal. There's a photo from, and this was on a Reddit thread, a photo from a pizzeria that was not identified. And it was the list of order refusals. Don't take any orders from these people. Just ignore. And, some were does not pay. One was threatened to burn down the pizzeria.
You can't call back after you threaten arson.
Threatened to burn down the pizzeria.
Why would you do that? Terrible's the pizza.
I don't know. Maybe you got a pizza that was maybe overcooked. Maybe it was burned, and they said, you know what? I'm going to come down there and burn down your damn pizzeria. I'll make your pizzas well done. Anyway, on the list. But then also just general rudeness and threats. Oh, another one, a list of apartments where drivers have a lot of difficulty or problems, like stiff at the door. And stiff at the door means a person orders food but did not pay for the delivery. So getting stiffed at the door. But then the poster of the list then joins the thread again and talks about the backstory here. And it involved a regular customer ordering the same 12-inch steak hoagie with provolone along with a large steak and chicken pizza nearly every week and always on Sunday for some reason. Then he described it as somewhat of a nuisance, but was never banned as a customer. That was until one Super Bowl Sunday. Quote, and if you're on hold, if you've got some great banning stories, we'll go to phones here in a second. If you're on hold, stand by. Corey, Kathy, Christina, everyone else getting screened right now. Hold on. We'll get to your calls in just a moment.
Yeah, we're only taking calls from names right now. Corey, Kathy, Christina.
800-990-1047 if you want to get in. So here's the backstory. Super Bowl Sunday, he calls in asking for his usual order, somehow unaware that it was even Super Bowl Sunday. My friend's mom was on the phone and told him there would be no way they could fulfill his order as they were slammed, and the latest they could arrive was 2 hours later. He, of course, was upset about this and would not take no for an answer. The pizzeria then apparently hung up on the guy. He got belligerent. He then stormed into the pizzeria in the actual place. He drove down there about 30 minutes later. He caused a scene in front of customers. Nobody could calm the guy down. Eventually, the store owner jumped in and started to threaten calling the cops. The guy shouted back and even tried jumping over the counter, but failed and landed on the floor. He shouted some more, kicked the fridge holding the sodas, then stormed out swearing to never order from there again. Then they put him on the list. The steak, hoagie, and large pizza, as everyone working knows exactly who they're talking about. So on the list, they just put steak, pizza, and hoagie. Banned list. Don't deliver, banned. And apparently, multiple pizzerias, people start, adding to the Reddit thread about these places that have people that are banned. And, the question is, what have you been a part of? Any listeners, have you been in a restaurant, a place of business where you had a banned list? And what were people banned for? Can you imagine? They wouldn't deliver this. And the guy goes down there and starts kicking stuff, trying to jump over the counter.
What a disaster.
My God. That's I guess, taking your pizza and hoagie order pretty damn seriously, right? All right, let's go to phones on this. And Corey is in Bradenton. I was just amused at, the reasons why people would be banned from ordering pizza. Corey in Bradenton. Corey, do you have a story? Oh, it's a Corey story. Go ahead.
I do.
What happened?
So in 1993, me and some friends had been out to the club, got back to my friend's apartment, and they dared me to answer the door naked when they ordered pizza.
Oh.
I didn't think I would do it, and I did. When the poor guy opened the door, mind you, she's in an apartment, so there's stairs. I'm standing in the doorway, completely naked, and he's standing there right eye level at my junk.
Oh, my
Is he a little person?
No.
Hey, what if this is underage? Kid.
Yeah, I mean, that's really risky, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? A 16-year-old little girl?
Yeah. What if an 8-year-old Boy Scout or an old Cub Scout delivers your
Make
pizza?
sure I have your pizza.
Yeah, we're earning extra money for our troop. Oh, my God, sir, put your junk
It's
away.
a 9-year-old brownie. She shows up.
I'm
Her
just
mom
saying,
just drove her up.
I don't think so.
All right, so what happened? So you're naked. The pizza guy knocks on the door. You're naked. What'd he say? What happened?
He literally didn't say a word. He dropped the pizza and left.
You didn't even pay for the pizza?
Nice.
He did not even ask for payment. He literally dropped the pizza on the stairs and walked away.
Oh, my God.
It's horrified by your micro-ween.
Where was the pizza from?
Honestly, I do not remember. This was back when I was living in Washington
Yeah,
State.
some local pizzeria.
Corey.
Corey had the Little Caesar.
Now,
You mean because I'm talking about his wiener?
Yeah, a little.
now, isn't it usually the pizza delivery guy that has the naked surprise inside the box? Isn't that?
Why is there a garlic knot between your legs?
All right, back to phones. Kathy's in Waimama. Kathy, we're talking about customers getting banned from pizzerias or other restaurants, and a list that a restaurant keeps, don't deliver, and then a lot of times the list has the reason why. Kathy, do you have a story for us?
Yes, I do. Back in 2019, we were having a large event. I ordered 15 pizzas, sent someone to pick up the pizzas. They inadvertently went to the wrong place. They were taking forever. Finally, she came back with 15 pizzas from a different place. And I said, what about Hungry Howie's? I ordered 15 pizzas from them. She said, oh, I went to this place and they made them for me. So I called Hungry Howie's later on that evening and spoke to the manager. He said I was banned. I asked him how long I was banned for. He said life.
Life?
Hold on. Hungry Howie's banned you for life?
Yes.
Right. Kathy, how long ago was this, Kathy?
Exactly. How long ago was this?
2019.
All right.
2019.
All right,
Nah,
so
probably still banned.
that's pre-pandemic, folks.
Hold
All right, so 2019 you were banned. Now, which Hungry Howie's location was this?
In Sun City Center.
You know what? We ought to do an experiment here. We ought to see if she really is banned for life, because they would have your phone number. I'm sure these places have the phone number. They put it in the computer, right?
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes,
I'm willing to
if you
bet.
call there, I can't get pizza.
No, have you tried? I mean, I'm willing to bet that the manager from 2 years ago or 3 years ago is not there any
But
longer.
she could be in the system.
Use your husband's cell phone.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't figure.
I figured that if I got life, it's not worth going back there.
Are you kidding?
know.
Have you not had Hungry Howie's flavored crusts? They're divine.
No, sir, not for
Divine.
3 years.
Okay,
Oh,
obviously
well,
you're banned.
Should we test this out?
I'm banned.
no.
Should we
And
test this
I
out?
asked the manager, I said, what can I do to get off of the band? And he said, there's nothing you can
Well, here's the
Kathy.
deal. They made 15 pizzas that just sat there because your friend didn't know where to pick up and you told your friend to go to Hungry Howie's to pick up
He knew explicitly.
All right, so what the hell? Listen, the bigger question is, what the hell is wrong with your friend that was supposed to get the pizzas for the party?
I have no idea. And then when she walked in the wrong damn place, I bet they saw dollar signs. They're like, yeah, because I sent a list with her. They were all different pizzas.
And how long did it take for her to have 15 pizzas made?
She forever. It was like an hour and a half past the time she should have been back. And everybody at the event was like, we were having a race car event.
All right, I'm intrigued on whether she's really still banned from Hungry Howie's in Sun City Center.
Yes.
You're banned for life. Don't even think about it. Howie hates you.
I'm sure Howie would welcome you back.
Welcome to Howie Hell.
In fact, all of our drivers, does Hungry Howie's deliver?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
Yeah, I think it does.
Why didn't you have the pizzas delivered?
We thought it would be faster to call it in. It was only 15 minutes away from where the event was. So I called it in and then sent her to pick it up.
Gotcha. All right,
The thing
listen.
of it is, banned for life. Okay, what can I do? He said, at this point, nothing.
Nothing. You are condemned for life from Hungry Howie's.
You caught the manager on a really bad day. He had to eat 15 pizzas.
That's a
Give him
great story.
break.
All right, Linda is on the road to Tampa. Hello, Linda. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We are great, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
All right. We're talking about getting blacklisted at restaurants where customers are not allowed to order anymore for various reasons. And obviously, it started with a pizzeria blacklist. And Linda, you have a story?
I do, and this goes way back in the day to when I was in high school, 1985, 1986. There were no delivery services. There was no Uber. There was none of that stuff.
Right, so the pizza shops, they all delivered on their own. Like Domino's had their own guys. Do you remember Domino's used to have the 30-minute guarantee? I'll talk about that in a second. You know why the 30-minute, remember 30-minute?
30 minutes or less, or it's free.
Or it's free.
Right. All right, well, that went away, and we'll talk about that here in a second. There's a reason why that guarantee is no longer in existence. All right, Linda, go ahead.
We worked for, when I was in high school, there were 4 or 5 of us, worked for a little local pizzeria near my high school, and he used to hire high school kids because we'd work real cheap, and he had 3 or 4 delivery guys, and we had a very small list. There were 4 customers on the list. They were banned for delivery. 3 of them were for non-payment, and the 4th one was this old Italian lady. She lived a couple of blocks from the school. She was 80 if she was a day, and she was on the list because when the delivery guys would show up with the pizza, she would answer the door stark naked every time.
Oh, just like the first caller with the naked...
Just like the first guy, but and the owner used to say, she's harmless, she's bad, she's crazy, don't worry about anything. But we got a new kid in. He was very shy, and he showed up back from that delivery on his first night. Walked in, took off his hat, and threw it on the counter. He was red in the face, and he said, this woman answered the door, and she leaned up against the door frame, and she said, oh, I have the money. It's on me, but you have to find it.
Oh, my, really?
Oh, it's so hot.
Hold on, she's butt naked. She's 80 years old. And she tells the delivery kid the money is on me, but you got to search me and find it, and she's naked?
And she's naked. And this poor kid, he didn't know what to do or which way to look. He dropped the pizza on the floor.
Oh,
he turned around, and he came back. He took his hat off, and he was a disaster. He probably still hasn't recovered. And that was the last straw. And the owner put her on the banned list. But
what a weenie.
I'm trying to think of where the 80-year-old woman might have hidden the money. I can think of...
Yes.
Listen.
Oh, let's not.
I can think of a few places.
Follow the varicose vein all the way up. Ooh, you got it.
No, that might be obvious. I'm thinking, there might be some very floppy boobs, maybe underneath.
I mean,
under the saddlebag.
Got a 10 under each one.
Anyway, Linda, great story. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks for
How did
calling
that kid
in.
not just go for it, just for the novelty?
All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Roxanne has been gone for the whole segment.
Yeah, she just came back with baby toys.
She's just walking in now. Can I ask what is going on? Why this show today seems to be your second or fourth priority? What is going on?
Well, this is wonderful. Fields BMW is coming to pick up my vehicle.
Oh, okay.
So
wow.
Okay.
What a service, okay.
Well,
Yes.
that's what Fields does, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So Fields BMW, Roxanne has a Fields BMW X5, and it's time for what? Some standard regular maintenance?
Right, oil change.
Yep.
And so they need to know where your car is. So they need me to go out there, take a picture of my license plate and like location so they're able to find it.
Speaking of your license plate, can you remind me after we finish with this is about your license plate? Because there was something that, something you revealed. I'm just curious about that. All right, hold on a minute, folks. Let me grab a couple more calls here. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Just asking about any restaurant or delivery blacklists that you know of where a customer has been banned and why were they banned. Let's grab Christina in Brandon. Hi, Christina. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How you doing?
Very well. How are
Excellent. We are fabulous. What's your story?
you? All right. So back maybe 25 years ago, I used to work at a Po Folks, and there was a Burlington coat factory behind us.
Hold on. You used to work where?
So, in St. Petersburg, the Po Folks.
Oh,
off of 34.
Po
the moon
Po
pies?
Folks. Yeah.
Po Folks is
So
great.
back 25 years ago, there was a Burlington back there in the back side.
Okay.
So there was a lady that would come in every day, and she would order to go. She wanted fried chicken or chicken tenders. Well, she decided to come in on a Sunday, and Sunday is an all-you-can-eat, like, fried chicken. So she came in with her whole family, which was fine, but when she went to leave, she asked for a to-go box. As you know, if it's all you can eat, you can't bring it to go home.
Nope.
So she got really upset when we told her she couldn't have a box. This woman got up with her entire family, walked out the door, and then came back through a brick through the window and was banned forever. We wouldn't take any of her family members anymore. We wouldn't take her when she called every day at work. So she had to go across the street to Long John Silver.
She did. She had to go to LJS.
She threw a brick through your window?
Yes, sir. We had to call the police. It was ridiculous. It's an all-you-can-eat, so you're not supposed to bring it home.
Of course not. Everyone knows that. And listen, you have somebody. Yeah, she asked for like a to-go box, but you with all you can eat deals, you've got the folks that operate in the sneaky fashion.
Yes.
You've got the folks that bring like a purse and
Ziploc bag.
they have
Ziploc
a bag inside the purse, and they're putting like chicken breasts or a peel and eat shrimp inside the bag. Yeah. That happens all the time.
Awful. We were kind of scared because we didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, we were all just like, this lady is really freaking out about fried chicken.
Yeah,
And we knew her well because she was there all the time.
Yeah, to throw a brick through your window is insane. Hey, Christina, thanks for the call. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Elijah, last call on this, and then Roxanne, you got to remind me of something. And then the Domino's deal, the 30-minute or free deal. We got to talk about that because that went away a long time ago. Elijah's in Tampa. Elijah, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
I just wanted to say about 22 years ago, I was an assistant manager at a McDonald's, and I had to ban an elderly guy because he had the runs all the way from his seat back to the bathroom.
No.
I'm so sorry.
All right, well, maybe it's a good thing that his hands-free is a little choppy. The guy had an issue from his seat all the way to the bathroom, all the way across the floor.
Ew.
Correct.
That's disgusting.
Oh, you're not going to lose him anytime soon.
That's McGraw. Who had him clean that up?
I think I was the one who cleaned that up.
Well, you think? Wouldn't you remember that?
He blocked it out.
Hey, Elijah, thanks. Elijah, by the way, great name because do you know my buddy Elijah Craig?
It's Elijah.
Do you know my buddy Elijah Craig?
No, who does? I don't know. Elijah Craig? Who's that?
Come on.
Is this a joke?
Yeah, it's one of MJ's hooch.
It's one of my favorite whiskeys. It's one of my favorite bourbons, man. Elijah Craig.
Did you take a picture?
Not a drunk. I am a very responsible drinker.
Did you take a picture with it the other day?
I did.
That's right. I knew that sounded familiar.
Folks, on my Instagram, I have a picture of an 18-year Elijah Craig.
I love
single.
Don't you love how rich people call connoisseurs instead of drunks?
Stop it.
I'm a connoisseur.
I rolled into Lucan's. Seriously, I rolled into Lucan's. I love Lucan's. I rolled into Lucan's in South Tampa on Kennedy. And, they're building a brand new one. The old Rooms to Go Kids?
It's enormous. I know, on Dale Mabry.
The old Rooms to Go Kids south of 275 in Dale Mabry. They're opening up a huge new Lucan's in there. So I go into the old Lazera place, which is now Lucan's on Kennedy near West Shore. And I'm like, oh, my God. There was a bottle of 18-year Elijah Craig on the shelf right behind the register. I'm like, I haven't seen that for years.
At least 18.
And they had a bunch of them. I'm like, oh, my, I got to get this. So that's my friend Elijah Craig and my Lucan story.
Hey, I'm a connoisseur. Let's load these up. Take them all.
All right. No, there was a limit, one per customer.
Oh.
I don't even know how many they have, if they have any left. But, man, 18-year Elijah Craig, that is tough to find. Impossible. Haven't seen it in years. All right. So, Roxanne, question about your vehicle. So you just had Fields BMW come out. They picked because that's what's great about Fields Motor Cars. Fields Motor Cars, Mercedes-Benz, or Fields BMW. When you buy or lease, they send the valet to your home or office, and here it's the office to pick up Roxanne's vehicle for an oil change. They gave you a loaner car, and then you'll get yours back tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah, look at that.
Easy.
All right, now the question I have. Are you letting the Fields BMW valet drive your vehicle with expired tags?
I know. I actually had to take care of that problem.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
All right, how long, folks, how long was Roxanne driving on expired tags? Would anyone like to guess?
Okay, well, hold on now. So her birthday is in late February?
Would you rather have that as the think music? Or would you rather me go to...
No, first one.
No, first one. Yeah, definitely.
You want to go back to Match Game 76?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I know that Roxanne's birthday is in late February because I don't buy her a gift and she always buys me one.
And that's a guilt gift, by the way.
So she got me a great gift this year. But so her birthday is like February 27th, 26th?
Yeah. Oh, look at you.
So since your plates expire the month of your birthday.
And this was what? I think just like a week ago, you made a comment that your plates were expired.
Yeah.
Are they still expired? Is the Fields BMW valet guy driving now on Roxanne's expired license plates?
No. I finally got it taken care of.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I was, let's see. So did the guesses, okay, February, March, April, 2.5 months?
So either 2.5 months or 14.5 months. Which one is it?
Right.
It was the shorter.
Why didn't you renew your tags? Why were you driving around for nearly 3 months on expired tags?
First of all, I don't like to pay it when it's due because I like to add that late fee just as a kind of a tip.
I'm helping the community.
Okay. I want to add the what is it, like another $10 if you're late or something?
It's more than that. I think it's like
is it?
Yeah. $40.
Really?
It's a big penalty.
Seriously, it was a crazy. Like the month of February was insane.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. I can't. It's so insane. I'm going to ride around on expired tags for 3 months.
It's just one of those things that gets shoved somewhere, and you forget to take care of it.
Where's it shoved?
What?
See if you can find out where it was shoved.
And so then when I went to, actually what made me have to take care of it is I got a ticket somewhere for did you know you can get a ticket just for having an expired tag parked somewhere?
Yes.
Did you know that?
That's a thing.
So you were parked on the street, probably not in a private parking lot.
No, it was at the convention center.
Yeah.
And I paid for parking there. I come out, I have a ticket. I was like, what's this?
That's
paid.
like, that's like
so annoying.
That's like you're a sitting duck.
Yeah.
If the meter maids, if they want to go around, just go to like a municipal parking lot. Go to a city parking lot. You probably find dozens of expired tags.
Yeah. And they found me.
And how much was your fine for an expired tag?
It was like $15, but then I fought it. And so.
Fight it.
I just, yeah.
You fought it for $15?
Yeah.
You paid a $40 late fee, but you fought the $15.
It's not like you have to go to court with an attorney and fight it. You just fill out the paperwork and say, no, this is a mistake.
You're a habitual offender. You are. You're a habitual offender.
I am.
That's
I
what,
am.
That's what
so
you
listen,
are.
then I went to go pay it online. And guess what? I couldn't even pay it online because it was telling me I had SunPass violations.
Oh, you're a scofflaw.
When I always do my tag in person, right? I go down to the tax collector.
Why? What are you, nuts?
I go down there.
Why would you want to put yourself through that?
I enjoy the DMV.
I go online.
No, forget that
And
business.
It's good people watching.
And if it comports with my lease, I'll renew for 2.
If you just need to renew your tag, the best place to go is the AAA on West Shore.
You know what? I know about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was in and out of there in 20 minutes. But I get there and I had to renew my tag because my birthday's in May. And the lady's like, sir, you have $7.50 of SunPass violations. So I had to pay that. And then I had to pay my registration.
How do you get SunPass violations when you hook your credit card up to the SunPass and it automatically replenishes?
I took my SunPass out of the Lincoln because it died. My chip died.
So what's the story?
So
you don't need SunPasses. They do it through your tag now.
No, I have to set up a new account or something.
That's bill by plate, but then you pay you pay an extra amount. You get a cheaper rate if you have the Sun Pass. You get the discounted rate. You pay like full retail value if you're without a Sun Pass, and they have to bill you by plate.
I had the sticker Sun Pass on my windshield, and then my windshield got wrecked because of all this construction. So they replaced the windshield, and I never got a new Sun Pass.
Just get the regular Sun Pass, and you put it up with the Velcro, so then you can move it around.
What year is this?
If you need to.
With the Velcro.
Yeah, use the Velcro. Be sure it doesn't fall off when you're driving. Oh, damn it. Velcro sucks.
Right. Hey, we talked about this a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Domino's 30-minute or less guarantee.
Yeah. All right, so let me get back to that. Why does Domino's not have the 30 minutes or free guarantee, 30 minutes or less? Well, the deal was, and this goes back, I think, to the late 80s or 90s.
It was a 93 case.
93. My recollection is that these Domino's pizza drivers were in such a hurry to get the pizzas to people's doors in 30 minutes or less. There were a bunch of accidents where Domino's drivers were like crashing into people because they had to get the pizza to the house. And there was one case where Domino's, they lost like tens of millions of dollars in a lawsuit. Did you bring up the story?
Yeah, in 1989,
there you go.
Jean Kinder was hit by a Domino's driver in St. Louis, Missouri, and she was awarded $78 million in a 1993 case.
That's a lot of pepperoni.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and as soon as that happened, a jury awarded her, let's see.
$78 million.
It was, she got no. Here's the deal. The jury awarded her $750,000 in actual damages and $78 million in punitive damages. One juror said of Domino's, they don't care about public safety. They only care about the almighty dollar.
Duh.
And the founder and CEO of Domino's, Tom Monahan, he ended the 30-minute guarantee, admitting that the multi-million-dollar verdict was certainly the thing that put us over the edge. Yeah. Andrew wants to take a call here. Who's on the line? Let me see the screener. Let me grab
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Come to the light.
Carol Ann, come to the MJ Morning Show. Carol Ann, come to the show.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Carol Ann.
Oh, my God. You sound like that little dwarf lady.
Go ahead, Carol Ann.
So I just wanted to add to the Sun Pass stuff that you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
We have a Sun Pass in one of our vehicles, one of the movable ones, but you can also log into your Sun Pass account and add multiple vehicles by plate and still get the discounted rate on multiple vehicles without having the actual device.
Oh, that's good information to save some money.
Look at that. Well, thank you, Carol Ann. You've come to the light and you've brought us good information.
Thank you, Carol Ann.
You're
Goodbye. Thank you,
She's
Carol.
never heard that, I'm sure.
Carol Ann, have a great day.
You too.
Yeah, I'm sure she hears that all the
She
time.
didn't love
So
it.
glad I called.
She would just call herself Carol. Okay.
Yeah. All right, did I fulfill everything I said we were going to talk about? All right, so your expired tags,
Yes,
and then the Domino's 30-minute or free guarantee.
But the BMW is not, the driver's not going to be riding dirty. It is solved.
I got a couple of airplane issues here. Oh, and folks, I want to remind everyone listening to give me a follow on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, give me a follow because I'm heading out on another liveaboard scuba trip, this time with Julie and my son, and we're headed to the Maldives. Now, I've never been there. It's on my bucket list. I'm catching up. I don't know how much longer I have on the planet, folks, and COVID screwed us up for a couple of years. So I'm just trying to get some trips in here and do a sport that I love, scuba diving. So I should have great underwater video. I hope to see giant mantas. I hope to see whale sharks.
Don't get too close to the stingrays.
I will not do a Steve Irwin.
I mean, those things.
So if you want to see my pictures and videos underwater, if you want to see like a little chronicling of our trip.
Another documentary.
Follow me on Instagram. My personal Instagram is Certified Todd Schnitt. That's Certified TODDSCHNITT. So give me a follow. Certified Todd Schnitt. Certified TODDSCHNITT. And Julie and I will be living on a little scuba boat for a whole week. So it ought to be very exciting, and I'll put as many pictures and videos as I can at Certified, the word Certified, then my real name, Todd, TODDSCHNITT. NITT, Certified Todd Schnitt on Instagram. All right. Now, speaking of air travel, a couple of things here. First of all, country music singer Casey Musgraves.
Oh,
she's
do you know what's going on here? Do you know?
I don't care.
Do you know what's happening here?
She is top of the charts.
Can you not moan?
Casey.
I don't know who she is.
Oh, she's outrageous.
I don't know. Is that her?
That's her.
All right. Fester just brought up a picture of Casey Musgraves. Now, I don't know who she is, but I know that a lot of people do. So she's a pretty big country music star, right?
Do I have any music from her, Andrew?
One of the hottest.
Andrew, do you have any idea, like, what is, like, Froggy, what is the biggest Casey Musgraves country music
Conway
song?
Twitty is my idol.
Tear in my beer.
No, guys, come on.
No. I haven't done country radio in a couple years.
Y'all. Chewing tobacco.
No, stop. Just stop it. All right. Hey,
brother kissing.
Kissing your sister.
Do me a favor. Will you run down to the country station real quick? If they're not on the air, run down to QIK real quick.
Don't we have it in our system?
We ask them. They are?
Yeah. Okay.
Son of a.
And that guy will kick my ass.
Yeah, he will.
He will.
All right, so
he hates you, not me.
What is a big Musgrave song? And then apparently there's some crazy story with her, but we don't know what it is yet.
All right, so here's a list of her songs. My pickup truck is broke.
Oh, we stop it. It's
Copenhagen, all the raging.
There's a rip in my screen door. Is that the next thing? All right. Hey, do me a favor, Andrew. Can you just play some...
Go to YouTube for the love of Pete. What are you doing?
I think slow burn.
We're gonna have
Try slow burn.
We're gonna have access. We have access here to the WQIK library. All right, this is Casey Musgraves. What is this called? What's the name of this?
Rainbow.
So you get your party started.
This is
right
Rainbow.
here.
On the MJ Morning Show, we've gone country.
When it rains, it pours, but you didn't even notice.
Oh, look at that.
It ain't raining anymore.
Does she have anything peppier?
It's hard to breathe when all you know is.
And my neighbor shot my dog and ate it.
Not sure why he had to eat it.
Does she have anything peppier than this, Andrew?
Try slow burn. That's her most popular.
What is it? Slow burn?
Yeah.
Is slow burn in the
slow.
computer? And it's not? Oh, so you're telling me her most popular is slow burn? It's so popular that our country station doesn't even have it in their library?
What other songs do we have, Andrew? There's got to be more than one.
That's enough. Just shut it off. Shut it off. All right, so that's Casey Musgraves. So what's the story? Well, we don't know the whole deal yet. But country music singer Casey Musgraves has filed a complaint against American Airlines. Man, American Airlines, man, they can't catch a break these days.
Tough going, man.
It is.
Just do a story about them?
Well, we've had tons of stories about American Airlines. I had my story that I told on Monday. Remember, I was calling American Airlines because we were originally going to take an American-booked JetBlue flight because American now has a code share with JetBlue, and I was supposed to take a JetBlue flight later this afternoon, but that flight out of Tampa to JFK, the JetBlue flight, has been canceled like 3 times in the last couple of weeks. I'm like, I can't take that flight. So I'm trying to call American to say, hey, I need to just book a different flight, get on a different airline. What can you do? So I call up American.
Rather than wait on hold, we can call you back when it's your turn. In more than 8 hours, you will not lose your place in line if you...
What? So that was my experience with American over the weekend. More than 8 hours, they can call me back.
And then MJ complained, and they're like, who do you think you are, Casey Musgraves?
Well, here's the deal. Casey Musgraves... She's 33 years old, country music star. She called out the American Airlines folks on Twitter, describing what she called an appalling and shockingly hostile behavior situation by the male chief purser on a recent flight returning from Spain. So I'm guessing she probably was flying from Madrid to Atlanta, maybe, or...
What is a purser?
Well, the purser is technically on the flight, the individual in charge of like the money or the sales, or
okay.
Bring it up. Bring up the actual description. Like a purser tends to be like the person that's in charge of
an officer on a ship who keeps the accounts, especially the head steward or passenger.
That was gopher.
Yeah, there you go. So the purser,
chauffeur.
Yeah, is that also like synonymous for like the lead flight attendant? Anyway, so Casey Musgrave said that there was appalling and shockingly hostile behavior from the male chief purser flight attendant on the recent flight. It was on American Airlines, and she said that other passengers and female flight attendants were also left in disbelief. She wrote, "It's extremely rare for me to want to come to social media to complain about something like this." She put this message out 3 days ago to her 972,000 Twitter followers. She said, quote, "I know there are way bigger things going on in the world at the moment, but I truthfully just don't want anyone else to have my experience." She said that the employee made her feel unsafe and upset to the point of crying, but she didn't detail what the American Airlines flight attendant did. I mean, this is like a mystery, man. Zoink, Scoob! We've got a mystery! Let's get in the mystery machine, Scoob!
Oh, I hate country music. I mean, what could he possibly say?
What did he do?
And he made another passenger cry as well.
Yeah, the airline responded to her on Twitter asking for more details. Derek Walls, who is American Airlines' corporate communications manager, said the airline has reached out to Ms. Musgraves to learn more about her experience and address her concerns. And she said, the singer says that she intends to report her flying experience to, quote, the proper channels.
Yeah, after blowing him up on social media with half-assed information?
What the hell? What could have happened that she felt unsafe?
I think that's kind of should be in your to-dos as a flight attendant or in this purser position to not make customers cry.
Oh, you think? Yeah. I would agree.
How about the famous ones, especially, that have 1 million followers and an awesome song about eating dogs, you said?
Something like that.
Yeah.
American Airlines sent her a care package of moon pies and RC Cola.
There you go. Look at
yum.
that.
Yeah.
And a new screen door for the back porch, right?
Guys, country music is not like that anymore.
I know.
And a complete set of the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, on VHS.
No, I'll watch that. I had Dukes of Hazzard, Confederate flag cake.
But aren't you guys curious as to what the hell happened? Oh, are we going to find out? Is Musgraves, why won't she tell us?
You can't tell the story if you're not going to tell the story.
Yeah, why is she not telling the story?
So tell us in song.
I was flying on a plane from Spain, and the purser is a real pain. That's all I got.
Awful.
We like it. Roll it.
Well,
music roll, baby.
Record.
There you have it.
I'm going to sing that ish at the Opry.
I guess we have to wait and find out what actually happened on the flight. Hey, speaking of flights, a doctor is warning. What are you laughing at?
I was making a Casey Musgraves joke, but I couldn't say it. I'll say she made the flight with her brother and her husband, and there was one guy sitting next to her.
Oh.
Because,
we stop.
Country folk.
All right, we stop.
That's a good one.
All right, y'all.
Just stop this. All right, really?
I'm done.
Thank you. Can I just dump the last minute of Fester? Can I ask the engineers for a minute-long dump button?
You're right. Yeah. Just let's promote your Instagram again.
All right, so I'm trying to let my listeners in, and I want to share some cool things with them.
Right,
you got a problem with that?
He's jealous.
All right.
I'm very jelly.
Speaking of flying, and a lot of folks are going to be hitting the skies this summer. It could be difficult, with long lines, canceled flights, shortage of pilots, all kinds of crap. Casey Musgraves having some kind of an unspeakable incident on American Airlines. But there's a doctor that's warning frequent flyers that if you buy the cheap seats, that your sex drive is going to be lowered.
Huh? What?
Yeah, exactly. Huh? What?
What?
Yeah, nearly 73% of Americans plan to travel this summer. But according to Dr. Florence Comite, there's a warning for travelers that fly economy. That if you fly economy, if you're all jammed up in the economy seats, that it might have an effect on your sex drive in the bedroom. So Dr. Florence here, is a Brooklyn-based endocrinologist who is a Yale graduate. And she says, hey, I tell my patients to think twice about the impact of your choices during travel. She put out a video, and she explains the link between anxiety, claustrophobia, and the lack of space, and how this can totally sap and just destroy somebody's sex drive or their libido, especially if they're in cheap, cramped economy seats.
What? This is ridiculous.
That's a stretch.
She's a Yale-educated doctor.
So you get off the plane and you stretch your legs and you get horny again. Like, what's this going to stay with you your whole trip? You're on a nice vacation, and just because you were cramped an hour ago, you don't want to do it?
Getting on a plane in anticipation lowers your sex drive because it's anxiety-provoking, and because we don't know what's going to happen. It's a tight space, and it drives your flight or fight mechanism. So the hormones that go up in the brain are like a norepinephrine, I guess.
Yes, norepinephrine.
Norepinephrine, and the epinephrine will lower testosterone and will immediately have an effect on libido and sexual function.
I do have to say that, didn't you used to feel like, if you could just go back 10 years ago, maybe it was because I was younger, but flying felt sexy and fun and exciting, and now flying is like, ugh.
I'm not
right?
sure.
I don't know if flying ever felt sexy.
Well, just exciting. Like, ooh,
Well, just
that
we
exciting.
might crash kind of excitement.
Frog, you really?
Yeah, really
What?
fun.
Come on.
Really
It's
fun.
not like you're going to be on a plane. Oh,
Well, listen, look at the airlines, though. Look at, you probably shouldn't say this, or I should, but look at the safety of the airlines and how long it's been since there's been an incident with a U.S. carrier.
Oh, great. Knock on, what is this, for Micah?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm flying this weekend. Thanks a lot.
Hey, I'm flying in a couple of hours.
I'm flying right now.
By the way, yeah, I'm sure you are.
That's my boy.
Yeah, a little wake and bake.
Oh, please.
Yeah, a little self-medication during the last commercial break.
Last commercial break, an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, so I'm flying in just a couple hours. I'm getting on a plane with Julie, and we're going to New York. Then we're catching an international flight.
Are you going to Newark or are you going to JFK?
I'm going to JFK.
Oh, that's right.
Which we have a long layover at JFK today. So that means we're going to be heading to Howard Beach in Queens. We're going to be getting ourselves.
Let me guess, some kind of food.
Yeah, New Park Pizza, man.
Such a piggy boy.
New Park Pizza is one of my favorite New York slices, and it's just like a 10-minute Uber ride from JFK.
Hey.
Yeah.
I want to take a second.
Yes.
And talk about what a monumental day yesterday was.
Why was yesterday a monumental day, Fester?
Because for the first time ever on this program, we've publicized the fact that we opened up a TikTok page. And yesterday, MJ, I put up a 1-second TikTok.
Is that you took the picture of the pickup truck?
I'm driving on Northdale Mabry, and this truck was rolling by.
Oh, my God.
Something doesn't look right.
That looks like a Ford F-150, and the whole bed of the truck is jacked.
Like someone came up behind it and tried to give it a wedgie.
It's like a V. The bed of the pickup truck that Fester videoed yesterday on Dale Mabry, the bed of the truck, it's pushed up into like the back of the cab. So it's like it's up in the air in the rear and it goes down. What is that?
It's like it's cracked in the middle.
How many views?
Like 14 so far. If you're on TikTok,
I think you're going to say I had like 1 million views already or something.
Yesterday,
you really started. I'm so anti-TikTok, and you started an MJ Morning Show TikTok.
So I told Coop to start it, or at least reserve the name. The video of me and Shorty Shane has 1,000 views. Yesterday, I put up a video of you ranting against TikTok.
What?
Without anybody knowing we have a TikTok page, you have 214 views.
Really?
And then my truck video.
You mean, hold on, the Chinese haven't censored me yet with my criticism of TikTok? I'm telling you, TikTok is destroying society. TikTok is destroying humanity.
Yeah, well.
TikTok is the worst thing ever to happen.
Oh, well, you currently have 78 TikTok followers. What up?
Jeez.
So anyway, go to TikTok, type in MJ Morning Show. Check out my 1-second TikTok of this crazy truck on Dale Mabry Highway.
Man, that is, the whole bed is all jacked up. But it's the wrong way. You would think like it would be all smashed in the rear. It's all lifted up.
It's like
it fell from somewhere.
Right.
That is odd.
Did a Spanky Spangler jump with that thing?
Man, that's nuts. Hey, earlier I mentioned about after a fight, this woman's boyfriend walked out and never came back.
Yeah.
We got to get into that in just a minute because I might want to take some phone calls on this. but we'll probably do it at 9 o'clock when we begin our final hour. And ladies and gentlemen, you might want to keep listening to the MJ Morning Show today. Why? Because I do have to leave in about half an hour. I have to leave right after we finish the 9 o'clock to 9:20 segment of the show. Why are you
I got horrible news that I forgot about.
What's that?
I have to leave at 9:32 for real.
No, you don't.
Kim just reminded me.
Show me.
Because I'm going to show you my text because there's nudes of me.
There's nudes of you.
No, but she texted me, said be home by 9:30 because she's got to go to a meeting and the kids are home.
Oh, that's BS.
And both my parents have COVID.
I hate to break it to you, but I have to go outside at 9:30, and it might take.
What are you doing
10 minutes.
All of you lucky ass Q105 listeners get to hear the Fester and Andrews show.
Trying to call your wife.
Call her.
Yeah, I thought I was dialing the right number, but it came up busy. I don't believe you have to leave early.
Damn it.
You know, let's call Kim right now.
Go ahead.
But the point is folks, I'm leaving at 9:20. Hello? Oh, it's still ringing. Oh, here. Oh, was she not going to answer?
I don't know. I'm sure she will if she's around.
813
310-8444.
No, that's Fester's cell phone number. Your wife is not
Well,
picking
she's
up the
probably
phone.
getting ready for the meeting.
Just no meeting. Anyway, the point is, folks, will Fester, Froggy, and Roxanne be able to carry the show in an entertaining fashion?
It's just going to be Fester and Roxanne, guys.
Dude, you're not going anywhere.
Well, it'll be Fester and
If
Andrew
I don't
for
go
half
home-
of it.
Find out what the MJ Morning Show is going to sound like without me, and that'll be at about 9:30 this morning for the final chunk. Can these guys keep it together? Froggy, you're lying. You don't have to leave early. Get out of here.
You'll see when I'm not here.
Yeah, give me a break.
Bet you $100.
I don't believe that for a minute. Hey, did you see that Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle have announced a joint stand-up tour?
Oh, my God. You know how much money they're going to make?
Is this a tour or is this a one-off? Hang on. They're going to set out. Oh, they're going overseas. They're not going to do it here?
Yeah,
in London.
They don't slap comics over in England.
What are they going to? Is it going to be like the Comedy Attack Tour? What is it? They got to have a clever name for it.
The Stand-Up Smackdown.
Yeah, the Stand-Up Smackdown, the Comedy Attack Tour. But Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle, who were both attacked, essentially doing stand-up comedy. Chris Rock, of course, was attacked by Will Smith at the Oscars. And then Dave Chappelle, he was attacked by that maniac at the Hollywood Bowl when they were recording a Netflix special.
Aren't they the two biggest comedians right now?
Which I can't believe that Netflix is wussing out and they're not going to show the video of Dave Chappelle getting attacked. Yeah, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle, they've announced that they're going to do a joint stand-up comedy show in London after they were both attacked. So why are they doing it in the United States? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, all right, when we get back, boyfriend just walks out and never comes back. I think we might be able to take some phone calls on this. That and a whole lot more. Oh, do you know about BAMF? Do you know about BAMF?
Yeah, badass.
He just hummed it.
Hang on.
No, I'm going to say it.
There's a story behind this. Oh, also, Froggy, I know you love the coconut monkeys that climb trees.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the band.
No.
I love those guys.
The forced monkey labor.
Oh, always the best.
Yeah, we got an update on that, and man, we got a lot. All right, hold on. We're back in a minute, but the boyfriend that walks out and never comes back. Interesting story. All next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Now, if you want to... Yeah, just like The Sopranos ended, going to black, right there. Right in the diner, right in Holston's.
Yeah.
The guy with the members-only little tan jacket on, and boom.
I don't understand how they end the song any other way moving forward.
Here's the rest of the song. You got the MJ Morning Show.
Thanks for that last little piece.
There's 5 seconds left here. All right, you got the MJ Morning Show. This is Q105. And in the final chunk of the show today that I'm involved with, of course, Froggy and Fester and Roxanne will continue the show on their own in just a bit. So the final segment today will be without me, MJ. So listen, find out whether they show me up, find out if I'm expendable, find out if the Beasley Media Group could save a little bit of money by just letting you guys do the show without me. How about that?
It happens at all the morning shows when the lead guy dies.
Yep.
You take over.
Yeah, they're still calling it the Kid Craddock Morning Show in Texas.
Hey, listen,
it's been a decade.
I want you to know during the last segment of this program today, we will continue to call it the MJ Morning Show.
Well, thank you very much. All right, so this is an interesting story. After a fight, this woman says, my boyfriend walked out.
No.
What?
We're doing that in the last segment of the show.
No, you're not.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's right. Don't talk about that.
We just had a show meeting.
Yeah, okay, great. All right, so after a fight, this woman says her boyfriend walked out of the apartment, never came back. So this is crazy. At 11 a.m. on a cool autumn Saturday, I was eating everything bagels on a Brooklyn bench with my boyfriend. 12 hours later, I watched his 6'5" frame walk out of my apartment forever. My boyfriend and I were together for 3 years, and we almost, spent some of that with long-distance dating between New York and Washington, D.C., but they had a fight. They had an argument. They were talking about getting married, planning their lives together, and their boyfriend-girlfriend, and they had a disagreement. They had an argument. And this guy just walks out, and after they get into a fight, and after a few hours of fighting, they took a break. He threw on flannel PJs. He kept at my place. He took a nap. We continued our discussion in calmer voices, but at some point, he stopped speaking. He tossed the PJs on the living room floor, got back into his jeans and his striped hoodie. Without making contact, he slung his backpack over his shoulder, stomped out of the place, and never came back. That was it. No more communication. Over.
Never talked to him again on the phone?
No.
Yeah, there's more to this story.
Done.
There's got to be something else.
Yeah, he's got to either, maybe he's living a double life and he just went on to go live that life, the other half of it, or maybe he... I don't know, but
even if you break up with someone, there's usually some wind down, and you're just kind of you're slowly just unwinding the spool.
Not for everybody.
Well, that's the point here. Is I don't know if I've heard of a story where literally the person walks out the door after a pretty long relationship and no more contact, nothing ever again.
These days, you'll see him on Facebook eventually.
Kind of like little Springsteen-y here, That's kind of what it is. I walked out of the door and I never went back. Yeah, just head on, gone. I mean, done. All right, should we take some calls on this? We got some time.
Have you ever been in a relationship that ended and...
Yeah.
After the breakup, no communication ever?
Like flipping a switch, like on, off, done. I just don't know if this. All right, let me give out the number, 800-990-1047. Anybody listening that had this happen to them, a complete, and I'm not talking about one date or a couple of dates where then you stop calling them or they stop calling you. No. I'm talking about boyfriend, girlfriend. You're in a relationship. And literally, you get into a fight or whatever, and they just walk out and disappear. Just gone. And you never hear from them again. All right, has this ever happened to you, or maybe you know somebody that it happened to? Maybe you know a friend, a relative. Anybody know of anything like this?
no communication again after the walkout, the original split up.
Unless they drop dead, you're going to see them.
Right.
IG, around town.
That's the other explanation, Froggy. He drove into a lake accidentally.
Hey, listen, those stories happen.
Yeah.
Those stories happen where people disappear and then like 30 years later, their car's found in a retention pond.
One of those
or in those dangerous canals alongside the Florida Turnpike. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Something happens or there's some goofball magnet fisher.
All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. So give us a buzz if you've ever heard of this. Somebody walking out and never coming back. And that was it. No more communication. Done. Over. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. I mean, I wonder if it was like a marriage. I mean, can you imagine that one?
Just walk out.
Well, that's hard to unravel.
Now, let me grab Stan. Stan's on the line. Stan, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, it happened to me. 6 years in a relationship. We never fought the whole time. One day, she canceled a date because we were not married. I texted her back and I said, hey, in the future, if you're going to cancel, can you let me know a couple of hours ahead of time, just for respect, so I can make other plans? I got a text message back that says, we're done. We're over. I never talked to the lady another day after 6 years, and 2 years ago, she passed away. So no closure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's rough.
That's the way to do it.
Wow, she really ended things, didn't she?
Oh, yeah. She said, I'm done. I'm over. It's over. And she gave me no explanation or anything. So I don't know.
Yeah, no idea whatsoever. You're not going to find that. I'll tell you that. Hey, Stan, thanks for the call, Stan. What do you say? Have a seance?
Consider a seance.
Stan, thanks for the call.
For closure.
Why don't you go see Whoopi Goldberg, right?
Get the pottery.
Yeah, and maybe a pottery scene. Jeff is in Palmetto. Jeff, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Something similar in your life?
I'm actually the guy who basically ghosted a girl after being together for about a year.
Oh, man, you ghosted a woman? You guys were together for a year and you ghosted her? You disappeared?
That, in a nutshell, yes.
Why?
That's pretty much what happened.
Why?
We were out one night having, dinner or whatever, and we got into basically a philosophical debate where our two mindsets were just completely different on the topic. And after having the discussion, I just, in my head, realized that this was not the woman that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. It just wasn't going to happen. We weren't angry at each other. It wasn't a like a fight or anything. It was just like it clicked in my head. This is not the woman. There's absolutely zero point in continuing this on any level. And I dropped her off back at her house. I went inside and grabbed a couple of my things that were there, and I just left. And
Jeff,
I never spoke to her again after that.
Jeff, do you mind saying what the philosophical discussion was about? Was it politics? Was it about family? Like what?
It was just about lifestyles and like what was right and wrong, and it was actually it was about several different things. There wasn't any one particular thing, but it just suddenly occurred to me that with her we had very divergent ideas about what was.
Like, so why did you ghost her? Why didn't you just have a conversation? Were you afraid of the confrontation? Did you want to avoid winding it down and you thought it was just easier to make a clean break and probably wreck her day and keep her guessing for the rest of her life?
I guess at the time, and this was 20 years ago, I was a much younger man back then.
Right.
I just didn't see the need in dragging this on.
And did she try to contact you? Was she trying to get a hold of you and you just totally ignored?
I think I got one or two calls from her over the course of a day or two. And I think that was about it after that.
Sounds like she was glad you were gone.
She might have been. Who knows?
Yeah. Tried to call you only twice. Forget this guy.
I guess that's what's called cutting your losses or something. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate the call.
Interesting story.
One more. One last, then we got to move on here. Charlie is in Tampa. Hey, Charlie, you're on the MJ Moore. Notice it's all guys.
Yeah.
On this, 3 guys in a row.
I think
Charlie.
we should have an open relationship. They all probably went that way. I sleep with other women.
Charlie, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well. Go ahead.
So I was dating this woman for about a year, and the long story short is I had a really good friend that I helped during COVID to fix up a house, and never asked him for any compensation or anything for it. He ended up taking me to a football game and gave me $1,000 for helping him out during COVID. Well, this woman was really, really very.
What the hell was that? What was that noise?
I moved the chair.
Oh.
I moved the chair in my house.
All right, go ahead.
So she basically, we got in a little bit of an argument. I went to my house and went to sleep after this football game. And she came over at 2 a.m. and basically got physically violent with me. And then after that, I cut it right off. And there was no reason for her to do that because I really hadn't done anything wrong other than go to a football game and my buddy had given me the money. It was a crazy situation.
Yeah, it sounds
That's why I did it.
Sounds like she's a nutser.
What also is crazy is you rearranging furniture while you're on a radio show. That's really strange, too.
It is.
I just moved my chair. my sofa's next.
Hey, guys.
Can Froggy and Fester come over and help me with this hutch?
Hey, thanks, Charlie. Appreciate it. Michelle just texted me and said, you did this.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, hang on a minute. Hold on. That's a hang on. Let me see if Michelle is bedside. Oh my God. Michelle just texted me this. That is true. Hang on a minute.
Allegedly, or you're lying.
Oh, you know what? I guess.
Oh, you know what? Oh, it's sad you don't remember your own, memories.
I guess I blocked it out.
Shot out of a
really?
cannon.
Did you?
He just didn't recall it. Michelle, what happened?
Well, supposedly the girlfriend Beth
I knew
was
it.
visiting you in California, and you had some kind of a blow up that you will not tell anybody what it was about. Never would reveal it, but you sent her packing. You packed her up, you drove her to the airport, and you put her on a plane home.
He's lying.
And then you supposedly never spoke with her again.
That is
so bad.
That is true.
I thought you did that breaking your toe.
No.
This was a volatile relationship.
That was like a year earlier in Virginia Beach, and then I was doing nights on Z104 WNVZ Norfolk Newport News, and that's when Scott Shannon hired me from Norfolk, Virginia Beach to Pirate Radio, KQLZ Los Angeles. So I went to L.A. and then Beth came out to visit because she was still, she came out to visit, and yeah, things didn't go well, and I did. I drove her to the airport, and I don't think we ever spoke again. My God, I am this story. I forgot. I am the story.
Well, not exactly, MJ. She got on a plane and went 4,000 miles away.
Well, it's not. Well, she'd be in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean if that was the case.
That's where she went.
Well, she went 2,850 miles away.
Did you ever talk to her again?
I didn't.
Didn't Beth ghost you, literally?
Yeah, who ghosted who here, Michelle?
I thought she ghosted you.
Who's ghosting who? Isn't that a Aretha Franklin song? Who's ghosting who?
What is Beth doing these days?
I'm starting to see that. Really, we should refer to her as like Beth Turd. Right?
Oh, hold on, Beth, like Amber Turd?
Yeah. Did you ever have to shelter in the bathroom?
MJ, what's her last name? I want to see what she looks like.
Listen.
I don't.
Listen, Michelle, I believe women need to be heard. I mean, I gotta have Beth's sides of the story on this.
Beth's sides of the story?
She might have multiple.
Can we talk to Beth?
I'm sure she does.
Listen,
Michelle, why are you bringing this up? I thought you didn't like when I brought up old stuff.
No, you said that you didn't understand how that happened, and it occurred to me that you literally sent her. I mean, if you had been in her place, you would have walked out and probably never spoken to her again. I know your personality, but all you could do was put her on a plane and send her away.
Oh, wow.
And then you never spoke with her. And that is unlike you. You, when we would argue, you would at least always call and make sure I made it home okay, or you would initiate some conversation or some communication. The fact that you sent this girl on a plane 4,000 miles away and never spoke with her again after everything, definitely you would have just wherever it happened, you would have never spoken to her again.
She never contacted him either.
I don't think either of us. I think we both just like the dealer that walks away from the blackjack table, or the they do they do the hands thing, and make sure there are no chips stuck up their sleeves or anything. That's what it was like.
That's funny.
Like a dealer at the Hard Rock.
All right, we're out.
All right, Michelle. Listen, let the record show that you brought this up by texting me.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
All right. I love you, Michelle. I'm going to miss you as Julian and I are going to leave here in a little bit to go on a little father-son trip.
I love you, too.
All right. I'll be home in a little bit because do you think it's safe to turn the last segment of the show over to Froggy, Fester, and Roxanne?
I'm telling you, I can't be here.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Hey, call Kim. She's available now. I got to go.
No, you don't.
It's the Fester on the Grill show.
No, it's
He's
not.
going to talk about meat.
All right, Michelle, I'll talk to you in a bit.
All right, goodbye.
Bye-bye. All right, hey, speaking of Fester, I'm going to make Fester angry right now.
Oh, great.
You see the guy down in Lee County? Of course, Lee County is where Fort Myers is.
I didn't, but what'd he do? What'd he win?
Guy in Lee County won the top prize, a $25 million Florida scratch-off ticket winner.
We were going to talk about that in the last segment, too. That's what I was going to surprise. Thank you very much.
What are you doing?
Wait.
You're doing all of our material.
All of our good show prep.
Thank you. That was way.
I didn't know. Why? Just tell me when. I didn't know you were going to talk about that when I leave.
It's going to be. It'll be fine.
Right.
$25 million is the top prize. How many top prizes were there? Were there just one?
George Demetriades. Sounds like a nice Greek name, right? George Demetriades of Bonita Springs. This guy claimed a $25 million top prize from the 500X, or 500 times the cash, scratch-off game.
Is that the $50 game?
Oh, my God. You know what? It was, yeah. This was the $50 game, and this dude won $25 million. He decided to take the one-time lump sum of $20,560,000.
Oh my God!
He still has to pay federal taxes on top of that, so you got to lop.
Listen,
you got to lop 35%.
I'll take it.
Yeah, off of that.
Never hear from me again.
He bought his winning ticket from a Circle K on Bonita Beach Road in Bonita Springs. My God, $25 million scratcher ticket.
I can't bring myself to spend $50 on a scratch-off ticket. That's amazing.
That is absolutely incredible. I mean, just think about that.
And Andrew, you say there's two $25 million prizes?
Two top prizes and a bunch of $1 million prizes.
All right, so that means that there's still another $25 million 50X.
According to the Florida Lottery, there's still one flying around out there somewhere.
Oh, my God. Look, Fester's gonna buy some on the way home.
I can't do it. $50 is a lot of money.
It is. That's a lot of money for a scratcher.
I mean, quite an investment.
$20 is a lot of money, but I could understand on some of these, but 50 is just a different ballpark.
Wow. Froggy, I know you love trained monkey stories.
I can't get enough of a nice trained monkey.
So,
I love them.
You know that there were numerous retailers that they stopped carrying coconut water because it turns out that the coconut water companies, like over in Cambodia or Vietnam or the Philippines, they were allegedly using trained worker monkeys to climb trees to get the coconuts for the coconut. Remember that?
Were they allegedly or were they really?
No, they
must have been trained.
They got trained monkeys that climb trees. And it's terrible. They put them in like cages during the nighttime, and then they take them out of the cages. They make them climb the trees, get the coconuts, bring them down, and then they put them back in the cages.
Probably loved it.
And then a bunch of stores stopped carrying the brands that used,
monkey juice.
Worker monkeys.
Oh.
And now the latest is, the reason why I'm bringing this up is I guess Walmart was a holdout, and Walmart has now apparently stopped selling this brand of...
Come on.
Yeah, it's the Chaoka. It's Chaokoh.
Use it as a marketing tool like they do Fiji water from the mountains of the Fijis.
If they would call this coconut milk...
From the hands of monkey?
If they would call it monkey nuts. And you're buying milk that was harvested by coconuts by monkeys.
Yeah,
for real.
And then finally here for me, before you guys take over the show in the next segment, BAMF, a Georgia Tech pitcher by the name of Zach Maxwell. He was seen on TV with his glove, and he's got the huge BAMF
That's right.
On his glove, and apparently that's driving the internet's wild.
That's right. Hey,
he's got the wallet.
If you don't believe it, nobody will.
All right.
Good on you.
All right, folks. Oh, that's right. Fester's got a wallet that says that. All right, when we get back.
No. This is us. I'm sorry. Folks, when we get back, the best of the MJ Morning Show is still to come.
I like how you said the folks.
You pronounce the L in folks.
It's just like him.
Go, do your teaser. Go ahead.
And
folks.
Adam Sandler got a black eye in bed. What's going on in
what
with
did you
this?
say?
Are you imitating me doing a teaser? Are you trying to imitate me?
No.
Adam Sandler took a guy to bed?
Well, no, you have to. Adam Sandler took a black guy to bed? Is that what you said, Roxanne?
No, Adam Sandler had a black eye in bed.
A black guy gave Adam Sandler a black eye?
He showed up on like GMA and some other shows with a black eye. All right. So, Roxanne, Fester, and Froggy will do the next chunk of the show because I got to leave and go catch a flight. Remember, follow me on Instagram. Follow my private account and keep track of what I'm doing, where I'm going. If you want to know what's going on, why I'm leaving, where I'm going to be, follow me on Instagram, Certified Todd Schnitt. That's Certified TODD SCHNITT.